Get 'em Jimmy, where low shack at. The bottle's getting empty up the crack and we stacking chips. All of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated public sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call it truth. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday, July 6th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. It was a good day yesterday. You know, I'm still beating myself up for Friday. And I feel like I need to say it out loud. You know, it's a holiday. I wanted to have a lot of action. Everything I've been doing other than this Friday, since I turned my season around, everything sort of has to correlate a certain way. And I was just, hammering away, and it's bothering me. But we got back to our winning ways. 3-in-1 day yesterday. Marlins first 5 -0.5. If I had have taken the Marlins first 3 -0.5, if I had have done that, it would have been a nice big casher for me, plus 145 casher. But, the Marlins didn't score until the third inning. And, so I left some money on the table there, but I felt fine with the Marlins first 5 -0.5 as my only action there, plus 100 to catch that. Lost the Yankees, Pittsburgh over 9 at -105. Cash Cleveland, Detroit first 5 over 4.5. Easy. Cash Cubs first 5 plus 100. It was 4-2 after 5, but it was a very crucial error by the Brewers in the top of the fifth that really opened the floodgates and allowed me to cash that one. So it's a little fortunate there. Very excited to break down the card with you guys. Shout out to all of you in the chat. And I'm buzzing. I took Jose's his leadership, his influence. I went to a Venezuelan restaurant yesterday with the family. First time I'd ever eaten Venezuelan. And my God, the cachapas is the greatest thing I've had. That is from my plate yesterday at Ex Gordo. And God damn, was that good. It's like a cornbread pancake that's holding together that fucking glory. Holy shit. We might even go back today. It rocked my world. It rocked my family's world. Everybody was excited about it. It was fucking delicious. So thank you, Jose. It was packed. The restaurant was packed. Everybody celebrating Venezuelan Independence Day, and we enjoyed it immensely. So thank you so much for influencing us into that. It was great. I loved it. I couldn't believe that I'd never had Venezuelan food, and it's really fun experiencing new things. And that cachapas was incredible. Like I still think about it. I woke up thinking about it. That fucking cornbread pancake holding in steak, cheese, and avocado. God damn, you guys know how to do it. You know how to do it right. It was excellent. I'm a fan. Next time I'm in San Antonio, Jose, we got to go for Venezuelan food. I'm in. I'm 100% in. I think that Costa Rican food kind of damaged. It's so bland and so... it's kind of messed up all kind of Central American, South American cuisine. But Venezuelan has got me back. Shout out to James S. Ready to get to work. USC, UCLA joining the Big... it's Big 12. Didn't I join the Big 12? Am I tripping out?
Big 10?
Jesus, sorry, Big 10 in 2024. It's nuts. What's the Pac-12 going to do? You know that they were only getting $19.4 million each. What do you expect? If the teams aren't going to make money in your conference, they're going to leave your conference. So who's going to save them? Boise State? Nope. Pac-12 is in big trouble. Viper in the house. Mets -1.5. White Sox money line. Jays -1.5 so far locked in. I did notice that not only Dave Redling, who said Vipe better get off the White Sox, but also spreadsheet play of the day is on the other side. And I'm on the White Sox first 5. And I'll break down exactly why. Jose Bouquet will be breaking down MLB with me today on the show, which is excellent, which will be great. And I'll break down exactly why. But I do think Lance Lynn, the Bulldog, is going to pitch very well here. And I like to fade a pitcher, even if it's Joe Ryan off of 3 straight home starts going out on the road. Now, the White Sox haven't seen Joe Ryan. And I wanted to move on the under. First 5 under. At one point, 99% of cash was on the over. Now it's 80% of cash. And it's moved from 8.5 to 8. Which is just tricky shit to figure out. Clearly, the books want more money on the over, which is hard to figure out. Or you could say, clearly, the both pitchers are going to pitch well. It's going to go under. The books are making as much money as possible just to fuck over the, punters. But I think the Bulldogs going to have a great start. And again, I just like fading pitchers after 3 straight home starts. And shout out again. I love that BLab69 is tracking this. He tweeted it out for us last night, and I retweeted it. All of the records from the Sports Insights full line value. The Cincinnati Reds were full line value, and they weren't until I refreshed it about a third of the way through the show. And look what they did. Lodolo in the house. So I understand your White Sox look, and not to be beaten a third time here. I like it. But it's dangerous. We're going up against some heavy competition here, Vipe, you and I, with Dave Redling and Ron Crawford. Fap win. Glenn Otto strikeout prop over 3.5, and Finger Lakes race 5. Ooh, shit. Not that Glenn Otto doesn't excite me. It's just that finally Glenn Otto got right. He finally got fucking right, and I felt so good about my, capping on the guy. And then he goes on the COVID list, and he comes back and he's trash. And he was on the COVID list for longer than I expected. It was quite a break between starts once he went on the COVID list. Now I don't know what to say about him. I just, it's upsetting. Very, very upsetting. Viper says Tricky Card today. We'll take care of that. Dave Redling says Sox are trash until they shake it up. Maybe fire entire coaching staff. I'd be fine with that. Oakland plus 1.5 and Toronto over on the team total. Interesting. Look at that. Ronnie and Bergie. I love it. Perfect 6 for 6. Even hit 2 live bets. Oh, I love that. I love it. Nice job. And the kind words, man. Pub sports education is invaluable. Ronnie saying learning so much from the show on how to bet baseball effectively. And we never stop learning, and we keep working together, and it's beautiful. I really love. There's, some things just, you have guys like Ron Crawford who goes out of his way to put money in their pockets, every day, no matter what's going on in his life. He's here and puts out his play of the day. You got guys like BLab69 who nobody asked him. We needed it tracked, and I'm overwhelmed with tracking cappers who do this show, and on top of my own capping. And it's a little easier now that it's just baseball season. But B-Lab just went ahead and did it. And I love that. And he did it for us so we could know. But Lodolo yesterday. Oh, man. All right. And Fireside says, not a fan of many of the matchups today. Under in Guardians Tigers. So this Pineda Bieber spot I found very interesting. I don't know what to make of Pineda coming back. We have a dislocated finger on his pitching hand. He was out for quite a while. So we thought he would get touched last out, and he didn't really. He pitched okay. What did he do? 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 3 Ks, 3-1 loss at home. I lost on the first 5 over in that one. I can imagine he's going to pitch better here. And Bieber is excellent on the road this year. But I was unable to pull the trigger on the Guardians. And I had my whole plan to. The highest perceived line value of any, and let's not get too caught up in the line value and all that stuff. Full line value, maybe we stop and be aware of it and track it like B-Lab's doing. But Pineda's not the highest perceived line value of any spot is the Tigers and Pineda. But it's not just that. It's that 73% of tickets, just 49% of tickets, but 73% cash is on the over. If the market is expecting over, it's just enough for pause. And Pineda is a good pitcher. And he should be better the second time out after dealing with a dislocated finger. So I held off. There is our guy, Ronnie Crawford. spreadsheet play today, Minnesota Twins. We can both win. I've only made 2 bets on today's card. White Sox first 5 is one of them. And look, I don't know how many times I need to say. I hate to repeat myself. So we'll wait. We'll wait till that game goes before I hammer that out again. We'll go over all of the lineups. Ronnie and Bergie, A's team total over 3.5 was a gift last night. Excellent work. Fireside says Pirates team total. That's a possible play from our Jose Bouquet, who will be back breaking down the entire card. And I kind of, there's an idea like, if Jose does this whole show, today on a Wednesday, at least there's 4 games that he won't be able to talk about on his show. But will it take away anything from the 5:30 show? And it doesn't. That's why when I started, Peter and I used to do an early show and a late show. Monitoring the line movement and the lineups and the pitching changes and all that stuff is so important. And if he's already gone over it once, I don't believe in jinxes or any bullshit like that. But I just think he's going to have a winning day today, doubling up. Correa is out. Dave Redling is going up against us. Ronnie's so excited to attack this card. Isn't that a good feeling? There's my guy, Jay Peasy. Says Twins Joe Ryan, got to look at it. And Dave Redling thinks this game will go over the total. And this one, you have about 20% line value perceived by Sports Insights on the White Sox. And it's another spot where the sharp action has come in on the over. And we have it on almost every game. If you want to just do a quick rundown before we do everything, there is sharp action on the over in Cubs Brewers. Sharp action on the over in... Now, when I say sharp action, let me just say it's the bigger bets, which I perceive sharp action. I'm not looking at a sharp... no sites telling me where the sharp action is. I'm just telling you where the much bigger bets are coming in on the side, and I'm just considering that sharp action. So do that with you. Mets, Reds, big bets coming in on the over. Washington, Philadelphia, big bets coming on the over. St. Louis, Atlanta, 22% of tickets on the over. 69% of cash on the over. Big bets on the over there. We don't have the Giants Diamondbacks cash information, but we know the tickets are on the under. The Colorado Dodgers, we don't have the cash up yet. It'll come soon. It's a pretty 50-50. Cleveland, Detroit, bigger bets are on the over. Minnesota White Sox, bigger bets are on the over. Toronto, Oakland, it's a little different. 70% of tickets on the over, just 61% of the cash. 84% of the tickets in the Rangers, Baltimore on the over, 81% of the cash. So there's not been one game so far where there's been bigger bets coming in on the under, really, until now. The last 4 games are all here, and they're all, there's interleague and AL. Tampa Bay, Boston, 54% of the tickets, 81% of cash on the under. Kansas City, Houston, 57% of tickets, 90% of cash on the under. Angels, Marlins, 48% of tickets, 91% of cash on the under. Yankees, Pirates, 54% of tickets, 97% of cash on the under. Exciting. I can't wait to break down this card with you guys. This is exciting. There's Von Polo, come to us from Charm City. Danny Lopez in the house. Fireside says Twins have won last 6 as dogs to the White Sox. Michael Ervalina ready to go. Says best fucking intro in the business. That's just because of Jay Peasy. Wait till Jose and I are going to put together, and we've seen what Jose can do with graphics and creativity and thinking outside the box. We're going to put a little intro for the show, create one with graphics and stuff. But, look at Jay Peasy just going out. That's what this show is all about. It's just us being a team and building something special. And that's what we're doing. And I'm very proud to be a part of it. Jason M. in the house. Great to see you. Says Thursday's beers here. That's what we do when we cash it. I love it. Jason M. in the house. Thank you for all your support, my guy. JW. Von Polo saying, can't wait for that trip, man. God, yeah. Look at it. We're really raising funds. Like, the funds are coming together. This isn't just like, oh, we're going to sit back and hope to raise funds. My God, funds are being raised. It's great. It's exciting. All right, there's Big Show Picks. Says, let's go, Tigers. Great to see Big Show rock with us. Nick Kaysen, 4 for 5 last night. Loving the pitcher props. Spence cashing yesterday. Dave Relly saying Tigers are hot. Fire says, can't believe the Marlins blew the -1 run line yesterday after 8 innings of Alcantara shutout. I feared the worst. I thought the game was going to go to extra as soon as Alcantara came out. I mean, that was the heart of the lineup he was facing, and I always get very nervous in those situations. James S. says, like the Venezuelan women. I won't finish that, but he likes Venezuelan women. Fireside says, strike zone and Angels Marlins yesterday was legendarily bad. Fireside says, Marlins player was throwing out multiple others called strikeouts with pitches from both teams outside the zone. Jason M. Twins moneyline, Mets and over, and WNBA Sky first quarter, and G-Long moneyline, Aussie football, G-Long moneyline. I like it. Keep that in mind for everyone moving on that. G-Long moneyline, Aussie football for Jason M. And Sky first quarter, Tease wanted me to pass that information on to you guys because that game starts in an hour and 42 minutes. He's also on the Sky first quarter. I'm not sure what that line is, but I should pull it up and not just... Here, let's just pull this up right now. He's on the Sky first quarter. And they opened up at -2. They went to 2.5. Now they're 2. So first quarter is probably, -0.5 or money line. So I love it, Jason M. Get that cash. AOD. There's Lucas Ryan. A 10-unit winning day and got to see Def Leppard, Poison, and Motley Crue. Wow. Lucas Ryan. David Summers in the house. How much we love this guy. Great to see you. Says, are we going undefeated today, Jimmy? David Summers, he combines with Matty Ice, Star of the Taint play today, and they give us, Summer of Taint. College football plays. Looking forward to that. Very, very much looking forward to that. Dave Redling, Angels first 5 with Ohtani today. And Pieces, what are the odds that there was a Venezuelan close to Parkdale? There is one. It closed at 6, and we were leaving at 6. So we went, but there's a bunch close to me. So we picked Ex Gordo, and it was great. But there's a whole bunch. That's the one thing about Toronto. We're very multicultural. So we got great food, the best food. Any type of food that you want. That's the best part of Toronto. There's a lot of shitty parts about Toronto. The best part is how multicultural it is. Mal in the house, ready to get to work. Real Deal Prime. Lee Davis says, I believe the rest of the Pac-12 will be joining the Big 12. God, we got to be uncomfortable hearing that. Hunter says, just joined. What game are we talking about? We haven't really started yet. And Hunter Engelhart will be our guest star tomorrow. Don Mack ready to go. And Hunter Engelhart's on that first half under today. I would have, if I was left to my own vices. If we didn't have this information, I would have. Cheshire Cat says, what's Ron Crawford on today? Good question. He's on the Twinkies. Hunter Engelstart says, I got Otto having a good start today on the first half under in that Texas O's game. I like to move on the under in that game. I need to see Otto get right again. No, Jason, there's a reason why it opened up at a pick'em. It's a tough one. But I just like fading a pitcher after 3 straight home starts. I wish the White Sox had seen Joe Ryan. Rob Free says Toronto cannot be touched in any kind of way right now. So everybody here, like on my social media and stuff from Toronto, everybody who's older than 50 hates this baseball team. Thinks they don't take it seriously. You remember how we were earlier talking about how the Jays have so much fun and they're having so much fun and people haven't seen these. The old heads that I run with, they hate that shit. They want some serious baseball being played. So that's one side of what's going on here. The other side is that death that happened is horrific. You lose Bud from the dugout to this unheard of horrific death of his eldest daughter. He's got 3 kids. She's 17 years old. She's an athlete, star student. She dies in a tubing accident with her mom on the boat. And it's just fucking horrific. That cloud is kind of hanging over the ball club as well right now. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen to them as they move forward here. I do think they're going to get their shit right. I do think that we should wait and see when Bud comes back to that dugout. Because I bet you when Bud comes back to that dugout, it's going to be a huge lift for this baseball team. But they're a young team, and Struggling. Just found out Ronnie and Bergia just bought us 5 beers. Ronnie and Bergia coming off a 6 for 6 night. Shout out to Ronnie and Bergia. The 6 beers that goes towards our big Atlantic City trip. And there's Matty Ice in the house. God, I love these guys. JW says Pineda scares me taking the under. Okay, well, I think we need to get to work. Hunter says, I looked at that game hard today, but Pineda's numbers against left-handed batters are absolute shit. That comes from our Hunter Engelhart, who had a spectacular first show with us. Went 4-1. He'll be back tomorrow. Reginald Luker on Reds money line and Marlins money line. Cheshire Cat says, don't like fading Lynn. He looked a lot better in San Francisco. Yeah, he's a Lee Davis liking the look on the Tigers today. All right. Mally Mouse says, what is the record, Jim? We'll get it popped up here in a second. Jose, is it ready? I sent it to him late. It's ready. Yeah, Jose will pop up the record. Look, I went 4-9 and lost 6.57 units on Friday. Yeah, and it was just me being just too fucking excited, getting too confident. But I'm starting to get back to where I was. And I will get back there. I feel if I'm in my shoes, I know what to do. I need everything to correlate, and I believe I'm a winning baseball capper now. But when I get fucking excited and confident, and then I'm going to get fucking hurt. Ik Schnizzle in the house. Ik Schnizzle, I have ideas and plans. I need to call you. I came up with some plans. Talk to the wife. Mikey P in the house. Great to see you, Mikey. And Mikey, man, Thursday, in 8 days, opening day of Saratoga will be live all day. And the legend, the big Ragu, will be on the show with us, and then we'll just move right over to horses. Okay, we got to get to work. AOD, no, New Era does not sponsor me yet. We did try to get Lids to sponsor at one point, but they don't give a fuck. Christopher Levy says 200 to 2K challenge is what he's looking at. And look at Lucas Ryan, 10-unit day yesterday. All right, let's get to work. Jeffrey Moore said, I already bet big on the Marlins, Phillies, another. I bet big on the Marlins and Phillies. Other 6 picks went down in flames. Okay, we'll get it back for you. Mike M says, what a week for MLB history. Phils give up home runs on 4 straight in the first inning, then a few days later give up a tire go-ahead run in 7th, 8th, and 9th, and still win. All right, shout out to all you guys. We got to get to work. Damon Santori says, we are very multicultural in San Diego, and our food is awful. Teach us. Wheezy saying, what will Toronto do today? And Ron Crawford, Chicago Sky. Is that a spreadsheet play today, Ron Crawford? Do you want me to lock that in for you? Taint play today is in. Get this here. Baltimore Orioles. Baltimore Orioles minus 110 for Taint. Get that here. When is that Orioles game? Is that later, earlier? Here, 7:05 p.m. So going up against Glen Otto. Taint is in. Eric Jones ready to get to work. DX Filer in the house. Brenda Jones says WNBA picks. Ron Crawford's on the Sky, and Teese, who's our WNBA expert, is on the Sky first quarter. There you go. Let's get to work right now and bring on your guest who awakened me to the deliciousness of Venezuelan food yesterday. And there was no booze served at this place either. So it was so we had the what is it? Fresca Colita? Am I saying right? Fresca Colita? You know, in that can, the Fresca Colita is 90% of the sugar you have to have. You're supposed to have in one day. 90%. Oh, something's happening. I don't know what it is. Is it earthquake? Oh no, he's grabbing the Fresca Colita. Please welcome to the show, star of Say Hey Plays, Jose Bouquet in the house. Jose, how are you?
I still have my empty can from yesterday. It's fantastic. Mainline this right into my fucking veins, please, dude. Please.
Ella also liked it very much. She said it was like drinking cotton candy.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. Yes, it's fantastic. Ella is a wordsmith, and she put it perfectly right there.
Can you show the can? Fresca Colita.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Oh, here, let me just get you a solo.
It's a bitch to find. Yeah, there we go. It's a bitch to find here, but all my my local Venezuelan hookups have got it. You know, it's lovely.
Sure.
It's lovely.
Christopher Comedy says 90% sugar. Hello, diabetes.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of cheese. If I was lactose intolerant, the amount of cheese Venezuelans eat as well is obscene, but it's fantastic.
Can we just put a picture of what I ate one more time and then I'll move past it? But that was my steak cachapas, and God, that's cheese, and then but it's that fucking, it's like cornbread pancake heaven wrap. It was so good. It was
my
so
moms
good.
are better too. That's the fucked up part about all this too. What you had was great. Whatever my mom makes is better. So
I believe
my
it.
mom is fire. She just needs the cheese.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. It was we enjoyed it very, very much. Jose, you're getting a lot of love from the chat and much deserved. What is your MLB record on Say Hey Plays of the Day? Your show, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday, 11:30 a.m. Saturday, Sunday.
It's been going really well, Jim. It's been going really well. Yesterday I got a very lucky push, pulled it right out of my ass to go 3-1-1. I had the first 5 under in the Rockies Dodgers game. Dodgers get a leadoff triple from Gavin Lux in the bottom of the 5th. We're like, well, we're fucked. And then they go on to blow it, which was hilarious. So shout out to them. But yeah, 3-1-1, 259 and 246, up 15.91 units. And like I've been saying throughout the year, not one day has been spent in the negative units this year. Not one day. So it's been a good year.
No, it's a great year. Let's get you back to 20 units, and let's do it here today on this Wednesday show where it's the first time where we'll be breaking down the entire card together. So let's get you to 20 units after your work today. Let's get started. 1:10 p.m. Eastern, Cleveland Guardians 40-39, 20-22 on the road at the Detroit Tigers, 33-47, 22-24 at home. We're at Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan. We will start with the weather, and I will refresh the weather. So let's just see if there's been a change. 7.4, 7.2, 7.5. Let's refresh the weather. That's a good thing about Swish is that they keep refreshing everything, and it's gone down a little bit. So 7.1 miles per hour left to right across the diamond and stays about that throughout the game. Let's move over to the line history in this afternoon game. We got 4 afternoon games. This one pops off in an hour and 40 minutes. We have a 25-cent move to the Tribe. I came very close to betting them first 5 minus a half. Very, very close. This total opened up at 7.5, and it went up to 8. Then it went up to 8.5. It's dropped back to 7.5. That's wild. That is wild. U-shaped movement on this total. It actually opened at 7. Excuse me. It opened up at 7, minus 125 to the over at 5:02 p.m. yesterday. Sorry, I didn't go down. There's been so many changes to this line. 7 to 7.5 to 8 to 8.5, and then back to 7.5 36 minutes ago. Wow. I did not expect that. I did not expect that. Wow. Okay, let's go over to the cash flow. In this one, I told you that the highest amount of line value of any game is a little over 50%, and that's on right here on the Detroit Tigers. 8,700 tickets in, 75% of the tickets, 83% of the cash on Cleveland Guardians. Then 48% of tickets, 73% of cash on the over. Mike M says Cleveland seems to have no heart this series. I like an over here, but does Cleveland even care? Does Cleveland even care? Shane Bieber going up against Pineda. Bieber's last start, 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, no homers, 5 Ks, 2 walks, and a 5-3 win at home versus the Twins. That was we had a show that day, and it was Bieber going up against Chris Archer, and I ended up getting off of the Twins and Archer, but the Twins got to Bieber, and I know that Twins hit righties hard, and you can't say the same about the Tigers, but the Twins got to Bieber. Bieber allowed 3 runs there. He did make it 6 innings, but he allowed 3 runs in the 3rd inning, and the Twins won that first 5. Bieber 3.16 ERA, 1.16 WHIP on the year, and his velocity is down, but he still has movement. On the road, he's been much better than he's been at home. 2-1, 2.51 ERA, 242 opponents batting average. Going up against Pineda, it was his first start since May 14th. And he was on the IL with that dislocated finger. and he was okay. 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 3 Ks, and a 3-1 loss at home versus the Royals. The Guardians are hitting 252, 714 OPS versus righties. Again, the Tigers 218, 599. The Guardians bullpen has been slipping of late. 3.73 ERA, 1.24 WHIP, converted 21 and 29. Tigers bullpen has been very good of late. 3.02 ERA, 1.18 WHIP, converted 20 of 26. I had to get off my plan here. Jose, will you get me back on it? Take it away, Guardians, Tigers.
I will not, because this game has no interest in my world. Ultimately a pass game. Two, I think, are shit teams. And I truly, I know you enjoy the bum fights and all that stuff, but luckily with baseball, there's so many matchups that I think you can have a better edge on or a better advantage on. You can just move on from this game entirely, whether that be because of line movement, because both of these lineups are not that great. The Tigers against righties are 17th in the last 2.5 weeks, 101 weighted runs created plus. So it's better than what it usually is, but it's still not what I want to do or back. Shout out to Matty Ice, by the way. Tank play of the day is in, and he mentioned that Riley Green, huge contributor to their offense now. I saw Riley Green when he first came up, and he looked like Bambi out there in the outfield. It looked really awkward, but he can really hit the ball. He can really hit the ball well. So shout out to him. And Bieber, I've said it throughout the whole year. Like it's never been a comfortable position for me betting Bieber because of all those peripheries at the beginning of the year and all that stuff. I haven't checked up on him in a while, but I just look at his last couple of starts. It's just not something I want to back. 3 earned runs against the Twins, like you mentioned, 3 earned runs against the Red Sox. I'll just pass. I think there's better opportunities on the card, and minus 180 is probably a little aggressive. And on top of that, the line value, which I will never fade. Shout out to our guy B-Lab for tracking it, but it works. It works out. So I'm going to just completely pass.
Perfect. That's helpful for me because I was offered, and I got in late, but I was offered the Guardians first 5 minus half minus 125. That's a lot of juice. That's a lot of vig. And I love your stat on the Tigers against righties. That was over the last 30 days?
That was from the 19th of last month. Okay. So I wanted to cut it down a little bit more to get a more recent and better sample size. So I've been doing that the last couple of days.
Johnny Gonzalez says, check out Pineda's home road numbers, day 9 numbers. I don't think we should. There's just not enough sample size. So I did pull them up. Just to see what you were looking at over 27 in the third innings. It's just, I don't want that to get in my head. It's just not. That's why I didn't bring up the home and road stats for each pitcher until 10 days ago. I really think that sample size is crucial. And let's not get too overwhelmed by a start or two in a certain situation. So I'm not even going to mention them at this point. That's how little I believe in those. So let's not worry about that, Johnny. I think it'll hurt us to dive into them. So Guardians, Tigers, I'm very comfortable hearing what you have to say, and I'm off of it. I guess I don't need to reach for anything. I've got an afternoon bet here. So we move on.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those days where I'll have to cattle prod you to not make those afternoon action bets because you want it, Jimmy. I know you. You want to make some bets. You want some action. You want to sweat it out a little bit. I know you. You gotta.
And funny you say sweat it out. I've been so calm over the last little while, and it's because I'm getting better. That's why. When you're risking and your palms are glistening, it's not a good sign. No, you guys were all nice enough not to mention that to me. Shouldn't be sweating buckets. You should be cool as ice, cashing tickets. And I've started to do that. Finally.
I've turned into a sweaty mess, so it's okay.
Well, you know what? So did I. Things have changed.
Yeah, I tweeted out last night around 2 a.m. I was like, am I turning into Jimmy the Bag? I can't sleep anymore. I'm turning into a sweaty bucket. And it's just a weird thing, this little wife swap we're doing right now. So
okay, let's move on. 2:10 p.m. Eastern next up. And you know what? You could tell from me probably just from the beginning of the show. I slept last night. And I'd been dealing with some insomnia and we're moving and things are messed. And I think it was the cachapas. and a winning day. Chicago Cubs 33-48, 16-21 on the road at Milwaukee. Brewers 47-36, 20-16 at home. American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You know, I hate that I apologize for keep going back to it, but Costa Rica really messed with, because it's really bland food down there. And you're there for 3 years and really bland. And I'm like, so then I wasn't going. Expectations help, because when that cachapas got in front of me, I was like, God damn, let's go.
I'll tell you this. I was just shocked that my people were working on Venezuelan Independence Day. We are notoriously lazy fucks, so that's what we do.
The place was jammed. It was packed.
Everybody
speaking Spanish, and Ella was trying to speak Spanish. It was really fun.
Well, Jimmy, I've told Helga this with her little brother. Send Ella here for a week. She'll come back speaking Spanish fluently.
She used to speak Spanish. Like when she was 2, I had no idea what she was talking about. Nothing. No idea. But she's lost almost all of it.
My mom will fucking get her underway.
I like it. I like it. Let's go. Cubbies, Brew Crew. And I was fortunate to get this Cubs first 5 yesterday. Some sloppy defense from the Brewers in the top of the 5th opened up the door. And then the Suzuki 2-run shot got me the paper. Sampson 0-0, 3.38 ERA, 1.13 whip, 16 innings, 14 Ks, 3 walks, 1 home run. Still has good overall numbers in 16 innings. But remember, this is a 30-year-old journeyman whom I don't trust at all. And I said that before his last start. Now, the Cubs sticks came to work, and you remember this game vividly, I'm sure. 6-5 win at home over the Red Sox for the Cubs. But they got to Sampson. They got 5 runs before knocking Sampson out. They just couldn't get to this Cubs bullpen. He went 5 1/3, 8 hits, 5 runs, 4 of which were earned, 1 homer, 4 Ks, 1 walk. Corbin Burns 7-4, 2.36 ERA, 0.92 whip. He's just on right now. He's on right now, and when he's on, he's very dangerous. The problem is at home, he's not being nearly as good as he has been on the road. At home, 3-3, 3.10 ERA, and 190 opponent's batting average. So look, I can understand anybody wanting to back Corbin Burns, but at what price? And that's what I asked myself today. At what price are you going to move on Corbin Burns, who's got an ERA over 3 at home? Because say what?
It's not worth it.
It's just too expensive. So now there has been a 20-cent move, but there hadn't been. This move happened 15 minutes ago. So when I was looking at this, I was like, wow, there's no move even to the Brewers because they're so expensive. This total opened up at 8 and dropped to 7.5. So they think that Sampson could have a good start. And don't forget what we heard about Pete talking about this Brewers bullpen. Wouldn't that surprise you yesterday when he was saying that it's just an average bullpen?
Hey, I told you, Jimmy, when I was betting against them with the Pirates, for me, it was wholeheartedly get Corbin and Woodruff out of the game and we'll be okay, because that's all they have in the bullpen is Williams and Hader, and that's a fucking hell of a duo. But you need more bodies. You need more bodies. So I actually agree with Pete. I don't know if they're ass, but they're not as good as everyone says. They got 2 really, really, really good pitchers, but that's about it.
By the way, the Tigers line just got hit. On Pinnacle, Lee Davis let us know it just went from plus 162 down to plus 146. Wow. That's a great note, Lee. That makes me feel so good. Oh, wow. Okay. DX Filer says Burns due for positive regression at home facing weak Cubs lineup. It's funny that you call it a weak Cubs lineup, because I've heard other people over the last little while say they don't want to mess with the Cubs sticks.
Well, I'll tell you why it's weak today. No Contreras. Obviously, he's taking the day after Venezuelan Independence Day off. I mean, who wouldn't? And then no Suzuki today too. So without either one of those guys, it's tough. Obviously, Hap. And I think I showed the comment here a second ago. I forgot who put it in there, but it was Cheshire Cat taking Hap over 1 hit at minus 125. He's good, and obviously Swizdom. But yeah, Wilson Contreras is the engine that gets that lineup going and the team leader. So,
and that's the 20-cent move right there that DX Filer was saying. Was it DX Filer? And Don Mack saying Sampson throwing his sinker a lot less added a cutter this year. So at least we know where the improvement is coming from. That's very important as well. And shout out to Ick Schnizzle. What a guy, man. Ick Schnizzle says, a 1 unit spent on the second round of beers for the AC trip. Can't wait to get all together again, Jimmy, Jose, and the fam. We be pubbing. What a guy. Thank you so much, man. I can't wait to. Man, San Antonio was so much fun, and we had some issues we had to get through, like COVID, and we got through them because we battled.
We had some issues too. It was great. It was fantastic. We went through the whole circle.
We did. We have. But that's important in any friendship. Let's take a look at the cash flow here. 7,704 tickets in. I'm going to refresh this to see if the line value changes or if they knew that.
Remember yesterday we had no line value through half the show, hit a refresh. Suddenly something changed and the Reds had full line value. And of course the Reds go on and win. So
wow. So it's the lineups. So I'm so happy I refreshed it because I only refreshed it there because of knowing that Contreras and Suzuki are out of the lineup. It's flipped. The Chicago Cubs were at about 20% line value. You take Suzuki and Contreras out of the lineup, and the Brewers are now at about 17% line value. Wow. Yeah. 17% of the tickets are on the Cubs and 39% of the cash. I bet that cash is worried now. Then 48% of the tickets are on the under and 85% of cash is on the under. And there was a move there. God, I guess it's because of learning lineup information but there has been changes in, as we said, and we got to start doing this every day now, refreshing the sports insights here. But yes, the Detroit Tigers are no longer a half line value. They still have a sliver. And the highest line value now is on Pittsburgh Pirates.
Of course. Of course. Come on, dude. I'll tell you, there's 2 games today that I am, well, actually 2.5 games. 2.5 games that I am bursting out of my pants to talk about. So we'll get there. And I think you'll be able to tell immediately which ones they are. But let's just say I've got man crushes on all of the games. So we'll see. We'll see.
Let's use some different terminology, but I know that you're excited.
I love the men on the mound. In all
okay, all right. Corbin Burns.
Different terminology.
Corbin Burns, is he worth the price? Because it would be very expensive to back him. And I guess the answer is no. He's
better odds.
I understand why DX5 says positive. You're going to get Corbin Burns has a 3.10 ERA at home, but opponents are hitting 190 off of him. He's allowed more home runs at home. He's hung a couple sliders and he's got hurt. And so I can understand the idea that it's going to progress to the mean here for Corbin Burns. So but you're saying there's no way to bet this at -270, even with these two guys.
You could take a -1 in the first 5 or something like that. I'm sure that those odds are probably decent, but I just don't think it's worth it. You know, I don't think it's worth your time and sweat.
And that first 5 has changed too, by the way, after the announcement. So it was -160 on the -0.5 and +120 on the -1.5. It's now -170 and +110. So yeah, I think you're right. JP says Brewers games have been going over. What's the Brewers team total? I'm going to give you the Pinnacle team total just because it's very difficult having to beat Bet365 all the time. It's extremely difficult, and you get a better chance at different books. So I'm just going to give you the team total here for the Brewers, and then we'll move on. No moves for us. The team total for the Brewers is 4.5 at -107. I mean, we think Sampson's going to get touched here, right? Don't we think Sampson's going to get touched?
Yeah, sure. I mean, Brewers offense is probably playing a little over its skis in the last 2.5 weeks. A 4th against righties, 128 weighted runs created plus. But I think that's a Pittsburgh Pirates bump they got there. The Pirates bullpen is ass. And by the way, Big Show cracking me up with the Pirates having the same records, and I'm calling the Tigers ass. That's very funny. But like I said, Jim, I think your time and effort it could be put into other games and not worry about a minus 270 favorite in Corbin Burns, who could shit the bed. We remember, I hear Dabby Cab's voice whenever I see Corbin Burns. I can hear him saying, watch out for his sliders that he leaves over the plate. Cubs have probably seen Corbin Burns quite frequently. I'm sure I'll pull up Baseball Savant to see some batter versus pitchers. Yeah, 84 plate appearances. 13 of them coming from Contreras. So take him out. And plus, he's one for 13 anyways, hitting 077 off of him. So, I mean, like I said, I just think you really think you can find better games. And just backing up the Ian Happ over one hit earlier in the show, earlier comment, he's hitting 313, 5 of 16 against him. So I just, like I said, Jimmy, I'll take you off of it. I'll pull you away from this game if I've got to. It's just not worth it.
And the -1 now with the lineup change for the Cubs would cost me -129. So we move on. 2:10 p.m. Eastern, Minnesota Twins at Chicago White Sox. And we have arrived at the spreadsheet play of the day. And I'm nervous hearing it because I'm on the other side for the first 5. Ron Crawford is running white hot. Very, very hot. Spreadsheet play today is the Minnesota Twins. Twinkies 22-19 on the road. White Sox 16-23 at home. This was a huge series for the White Sox. I felt like that the brass for the White Sox had to be circling this series on the calendar, saying if we get hurt here, La Russa's got to go. We got to give La Russa up to this point.
No way. He's not going anywhere. He's not. It's going to be stuck there. Jerry Reinsdorf. Let's look at what he does. He's finishing the season. And it's going to be hilarious.
Hunter Engelhardt says, yeah, I'm on the first half under in the Sox first half -0.5. Of course, because Hunter doesn't want -115. He wants plus lines. He averages plus lines. I love seeing that Hunter Engelhardt is on that. Billy Friedrich says, White Sox have been horrible in this series. Did you see that awful triple play? It was ridiculously bad. It was just one of the worst things I've ever seen.
So
Guaranteed.
Well, I'm saying this is someone that has bet the Twins every game this series. So I think it's hilarious. Jimmy, I'll keep this short and sweet. I've been saying this. The Twins are the better team. They're a better team right now. They've got a better coach, better lineup. And on the last 2 days, I think they've had a pitching matchup advantage, even with Kopech on the bump. I said yesterday, I think that it was Winder yesterday. I think Winder's a really good pitcher that somehow and for some reason has been in the minor leagues. So I'm taking the Twins here again. I've taken them first 5. Both games. I'll take them first 5 here. Unfortunately for you, Jim, I did not want to do that to you, but I'll take them first 5. I believe in my guy, Joe Ryan. Lance Lynn is someone I have just my doubts about. He's come back and he finally pitched well, but I just don't believe in him. Ultimately, I think he's kind of, I don't know if washed up is the term, but I don't think he's that good anymore. So I'm taking the better squad here. And I hope, Jim, and you're on the White Sox, I know, and I hope this is not the futures bet coming into your head because you've talked about that before as well.
It's not at all. But it is. We each, I think, have a bias here. You have a bias with Joe Ryan, and I have a bias with Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn's made me a lot of money. He's a bulldog on the mound. I stayed off of him when he came back from injury, and he gave us the green light in San Francisco. And now he's at home, and I think he's going to pitch very well. Very well. I think he's going to pitch very well. And then we also have the issue where I like to fade a young pitcher after 3 straight home starts going out on the road. I just wish the White Sox had seen him. The fact that the White Sox haven't seen him makes me very uncomfortable. So let's lock you in. So you only want first 5 or you want both?
Yeah, I'll take only first 5 again. I should have taken first 5 full game yesterday, but I'll only lock in first 5 again, just limiting the damage if it does go full game or if I do take both here. But like I said, just better team at the end of the day. And Eloy Jimenez back for the Chicago White Sox today. That's a note that Coin puts in the chat. Shout out to Coin. I will say this, Jim. I think it's very fascinating to see who we like in these matches. Maybe it tells a little bit about it ourselves. You like the Lance Lynn and his burly figure, and I like weirdo Joe Ryan. So this is very interesting.
I thought you were going to talk about an old vet and a rookie. I think you were
No,
gonna
no,
talk
no,
about their
no.
physical makeup.
Physical appearance only.
So I can give you a plus 100, minus 101 at Pinnacle. I can give you plus a hundo at Circa. So we'll give you the plus a hundo. And Hunter Engelhart says, looks like everyone's views taking both reads right. First half under might be the consensus. Lit Pick says, how you think he's been looking, talking about Lynn. He looked bad, but he'd been off for a long time. And then it felt like he got right in that game last out. And now he's going to go home. He's a bulldog. He's just a bulldog. And look, there's Jojo Rich in the house. So I'm comfortable here. Rodney Barton says his total has dropped to 8 overnight. It wasn't an overnight thing. So let's talk about the line history and everything with the wind here quickly for anyone who's thinking about totals in this spot. So it's 74 Fahrenheit, 9.3 miles per hour left to right, very slightly out. Goes up to 10.5 miles per hour, very slightly out. Then we'll go over to the cash flow change, the line history change. There's been a 10-cent move to the White Sox. There had been a 5-cent move when I bet it. There's been 5 more cents move. So that was at 11:05 a.m. So that was 49 minutes ago. Jojo Rich is on Twinkies first 5 team total over 1.5. Let's go over to the Sports Insights here. And we have refreshed. So they have, as I said, real legitimate line value here. I'd say about 35% line value on the White Sox. 53% of the tickets, 48% of the cash on the White Sox. So it's still a coin flip. And then 46% of tickets, 83% of cash on the over. And I'm going to let that take me off of the total. So if anybody was going to move on the total in an under capacity, I would say you got to go first 5. I'm not going to do that because when everything correlates, my ROI is very good. And when I go out on my own, it's not.
I will say this. I think I last night, because I had this game circled last night as well because of what I said earlier, betting the Twins, betting every game in the series. It was minus 110 each way last night, I believe. Money moved a little bit towards the White Sox. I wouldn't be surprised if by the time play goes, it's probably like minus 115, minus 105. So that was definitely a point in your category there, Jim. You know, the line movement, it doesn't like guide what I do, but yesterday the same thing happened with the Red Sox Rays. Money slightly going to the Rays. Red Sox end up shitting a bed. So, yeah.
Well, what I'll do is I'll take a screenshot of the cash right before your show, so you can take a look at it and see what changes have occurred. So there we go. This is a wild one. Got Ron Crawford spreadsheet play on the Twins. Jose on the Twins first 5. Dave Redling on the Twins. You got Viper NB on the White Sox. Hunter Engelhart and myself on the White Sox first 5. Ooh, this will be fun.
It's going to be a good game. Joe Ryan, Rookie of the Year campaign on oxygen, but hold firm, Joe. Just stay in there.
Well, how about we spice this up a little bit? But then we'll have to get beers. I have no beers in my fridge because I could put a shoey on it, but then we'd both have to get beers.
Yeah, I don't have any beers. Nor do I want to throw up on camera. That would not be ideal. I'll pay for your cachapa. There you go.
You don't have to pay for my cachapa, but you can just take me for cachapas next time I'm in San Antonio. Okay, there we go.
That'll be in September, by the way. There's a teaser for everyone.
Say what? Sorry, say that again.
That'll be in September or October.
Yes. I will be. Yes,
I'll be in teaser for everyone. Yeah.
Yes, I'll be. Yeah, very exciting stuff coming down the well, and I get to go back to San Antonio. So
and maybe I can get my steak then too. Shout out Tiger.
You are up a steak. Scottish Open action from our Dan Kelly here. There we go. Top 40, all plus money spots. Right there.
You could have told me all of those names are made up, and I would have believed you.
Yeah.
What a trio of names we've got there. Holy hell.
No Johnny Vegas too.
Well, shout out my man Johnny Vegas, who I'm sure he enjoyed yesterday as well. Doing nothing.
Okay, we move on to the next spot on the board, and man, Dan Kelly says, "When are we going to Saratoga?" God, my problem is we're moving right now, and it's a bitch. But I'll figure it out. But we are doing here live all day next Thursday for the grand opening of the season at Saratoga. God,
By the way,
down.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
just some random things during the show. I texted Helga and I told her that I asked her if she would like to move to Toronto, and she said, "Yeah, sure." So,
Oh, nice. Well, we'd be happy to have you. We'd be
more
happy
happy than here, more happy than Texas, I'm sure, for sure.
Texas, it's been a tough time in Texas over the last little bit,
man. Blue Jays A's.
Blue Jays 44-38, 19-20 on the road. Hard to believe that is their record right now. At the Oakland Athletics, 28-55, 10-28 at home. We're at Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. We'll start with the weather. It is 66 Fahrenheit, 9.1 miles per hour out to right center, and it goes up to 11.8 miles per hour. But, the wind, it's whatever. Funnels. It does fucked up shit. Let's just put it that way. It's not like in other ballparks when it's 11, 12 miles per hour. It swirls. I don't know. Jose Barrios, 6-4, 5.72 ERA, 1.43 whip, 83 in the third, 67 Ks, 22 walks, 17 home runs. This is going to tell me a ton about Barrios to start. Is Barrios like Molly last year? Is he going to pitch well at home and terrible on the road? Now, I know Molly was the opposite, but still, it was so predictable. And Barrios is becoming so predictable. And this will help me. If he gets lit up here by this weak-hitting A's squad, hitting 208, 593 OPS versus righties, I'll know for sure. I'll know. D. Jenkins says all of Barrios' road spots have been putrid except against Tigers. If there's any team similar to them, it's the A's. That's very interesting, D. Jenkins. That's a very, very interesting angle. DX Filer took the over 8 at -115. I get it. Last start for Barrios, 9-2 win at home versus the Rays. He goes 5 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 Ks, 2 walks, and then 9-2 win. I've spoken to you guys because it's all over this Toronto sports radio that on his winning starts, his breaking ball moves 17 inches. There's 17 inches of movement. On his losing starts, there's 13 inches of movement. And the whole league knows about it. And you got to watch him right off the start. If there's movement on that breaking ball, it sets everything up. Everything gets set up and he rolls. If it's not moving, you live bet against him immediately. Hunter Engelhardt says this one, first half under 5 for 4 units. Biggest play I'm on today. The only thing that scares me is Cap giving up 4 home runs off the first pitch of an at-bat. James Caprillion. One more thing, though. Barrios' numbers on the road, 2-4, 7.92 ERA, 326 opponents batting average. Unbelievably bad. Caprillion, 1-5, 5.43 ERA, 1.38 whip, 40 Ks, 27 walks, has allowed 11 home runs this year in 58 innings. His last start was very good. It was at Seattle. It was on Friday. He was going up against Marco Gonzalez, and I couldn't understand the market move towards Caprillion, and I still bet against it.
That was a full line value day, too, I believe, on Caprillion as well.
I believe so. And it hurt me. Let's take a look at DX Filer's action here quickly and copy and paste it. Thank you for sharing that with us, DX. Let's get that here. Okay.
I learned a lot about Steen today, actually.
Sorry, say it again?
I learned a lot about our friend Steen there today. He's a big Stranger Things guy, I learned. I didn't know that. The more you learn about Steen. He's like an onion. You got to keep peeling back those layers.
Sure. You'll be glad to know that I've never watched an episode of that show.
But did you watch what I sent you last night?
I've not watched that either. No. But I will pitch it. I was just in such a good mood. I fell asleep. It was like
Helga's gonna fight you, dude. Helga beats my ass. She'll come and fight you too.
No, I fear Helga. I'll watch it. Helga sent me something to watch. I will watch it. I will watch it with the wife. Caprillion at home is being atrocious. He's been bad everywhere, but the worst at home. 0-3, 6.45 ERA, 258 opponents batting average. Jays versus righties, 257, 757 OPS. A's versus righties, 208, 593 OPS. Jays bullpen is as bad as the A's bullpen. Wow. Can you believe what a mess this pitching staff has become? So let's just take a look at the line history and where the cash is, and then hand it over to Jose to shed some light on the spot. The Jays, there was a 30-cent move towards the Jays. It had only gone in the Jays' direction. 8:14 a.m., there'd been 30 cents move. At 10:03 a.m., 15 cents back. So the Jays go from minus 200 to minus 185. From a total perspective, it opened up at 8, it went up to 8.5, dropped down to 8, and 5 minutes ago went back to 8.5. Let's take a look at the Sports Insights cash flow here in this one. You have about a sixth of line value. We have real line value here today. There's only one or two slivers. There's, like this is about 18% line value on the Jays, 82% of tickets on them, 88% of the cash, 73% of tickets on the over, 69% of cash. And you know what? D. Jenkins, that's in my head. That's in my head. His idea that the only good road start he had is against the Tigers, and what offense reminds you of the Tigers is this A's offense. Take it away, Jose. Jays, A's.
I think I've made my feelings about Barrios since the beginning of the season very clear. I've always thought he's been a little overrated. I've never been a big Barrios guy. I thought the contract you guys gave to him was a little excessive, as well as trading, pretty good prospects for him as well. But if he does not have a good start here today, then when? When will it come? When will you ever be able to trust this guy again? Correct me if I'm wrong, Jimmy, but did you guys lose again yesterday? Was it a 5-3 Jays or A's win again?
It was.
So a 3-gamer? If this is a 3-gamer, this would be avoiding the sweep for the Jays? If Barrios cannot pull out his big boy pants and get a good start here today, then I don't know what you guys are going to do come playoff time with that guy. He's going to be your game 3 starter, the first start of the road. Oh man, that'd be tough. That'd be super tough. So I don't want to back him here. I think it's hilarious that the A's keep doing this. I wouldn't hate a team total on either side, honestly. You could talk me into either one. The Jays are second against righties, 132 weighted runs created plus. They've been that high ever since they broke out of that like mini slump they had at the beginning of the season. And then Caprillion, who we don't know how that line value works, man, but it always seems to work out. It always seems to back pitchers that, just seem like they're always like shit. They're terrible coming off an injury, whatever. Lodolo, for example, coming off an injury, backs him, dominates. Caprillion backs him, dominates. It's so weird how that always like turns out to be right. But I don't want to I don't want to put my money on a Caprillion here to see if he pitches well again, because I think he's a good pitcher. Truthfully, I think he's a lot better than he's pitched at the beginning of the season. He was an AL Rookie of the Year guy the previous year. I don't know what it could be. It's a combination of just him not being ready for the season, not wanting to pitch on the A's, the motivation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I think Caprillion is a good pitcher on his day when he's on. So I don't want to pay a price to back the Blue Jays here. And I don't want to have to worry about Caprillion if I was backing the A's here. So team totals would be the only way I could lean. But like I said, there's other games on the card where I could have more enjoyment betting on this and sweating out an over in the Coliseum. So thanks.
I think it was well put. Great breakdown. I am off of it as well. And DX agreeing. It's this the death of Bud's eldest daughter is just kind of hanging over the team. And when he comes back, that first game that he's in the dugout, we bet the Jays.
Lock City.
We bet the Jays, and we bet him heavy. I mean, not ridiculous, but
you're the one that has to keep up with that since you're on the boots on the ground over there. So please let us know.
I will. I'll have to, and I don't know when that will be, so we'll just have to follow the beat writers and figure that out. Hunter says Barrios going to have the best start of the year today, in my opinion, based on everything I looked at. It'd be helpful. It'd be extremely, extremely helpful. All right, let's review afternoon action for Jose and I. The only bet we have is against each other.
Well, this is what we do. This is how we write. It's not our fault that baseball's giving us shit. If Samson, no thanks. At least the Tigers Guardians game is watchable. Shout out to Big Show, but the rest of the games are just trash. And at the very least, Guardians Twins White Sox will be good. But I'm just waiting for the fire Tony La Russa chance, basically.
Jose's on the Twins first 5 plus 100. I'm on the White Sox first 5 minus 115. Ron Crawford's on the spreadsheet. Play today, Minnesota Twins. Hunter Engelhart with me. White Sox first 5 minus a half. So is Viper NB. Dave Redling on the other side. Okay, let's move on to the evening game, 6:40 p.m. We start with the Los Angeles Angels at Miami Marlins. So what is that? Sorry, it's usually I write say hey play today. Today I just wrote Jose. Let me just keep it say hey so I can.
Well, while you do that, I'll tell you right now.
Sure.
I think it was Ice Cube with no Vaseline. This is all Vaseline for me here. All of the Vaseline right here. Shohei Ohtani coming off his birthday yesterday, which, of course, is on Venezuelan Independence Day. So why wouldn't I love the guy? Why wouldn't I love him? I mean, come on.
The Angels are 8 games under 500. That makes me want to point and laugh at them. At the Miami Marlins, 39-40, 20-16 at home. We're at loanDepot Park in Miami, Florida. Shohei versus Trevor Rogers. Trevor Rogers at home is 2-3 with an 8.39 ERA and opponents are hitting .330 off of him. Is there enough sample size to trust those numbers? I think so. Cheshire Cat says, "What's all this talk of Vaseline?" I thought you would summon Fap Win because we know he's got a 55-gallon.
Fap's got a lot of things to deal with, that 55 gallon of lube, KY jelly, Vaseline, whatever he's got is not going to take care of itself. And maybe it's a good thing he's not watching and using that while he's watching. So maybe that's a good thing. Who knows?
That's what he calls it, a vat. Is a drum. No, a drum. A 55-gallon drum is what he calls it. Okay, Angels, Marlins. Let's look at the line movement here. Opening up with the Angels minus 155. They got up to minus 180 by 7:36 this morning. Since then, been all Marlins. So 20-cent move back to the Marlins. So overall, there's only a 5-cent move to the Angels. This total opened up at 7 minus 120 to the over. 2 hours into this, so it opened at 5:02 p.m. At 7:02 p.m., it moved to 7.5. And then 19 minutes later, it came back to 7. And it's 7 at a pick'em right now. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this interleague game. 5,270 tickets in, a sliver of line value towards Miami. You have 65% of the tickets and 79% of the cash on the Angels, and only a 5-cent move since the opening. Then you have 50% of the tickets and 92% of cash on the under. So there's obviously an expectation that Trevor Rogers is going to pitch well here. Shohei's last start, Shohei 2.68 ERA, 1.01 whip. He's been excellent. 101 Ks in 74 innings. Imagine if he didn't have that start where he was tipping his pitches against the Yankees. Last start, he goes 5 2/3, 5 hits, 11 strikeouts and 1 walk, and a 4-1 win at home versus the White Sox. On the road, though, he's not as good as he is at home. On the road, 3-2, 3.41 ERA, 240 opponents batting average. Trevor Rogers, 5.56 ERA, 1.59 whip, has not been good this year, but he's coming off a nice start at the Nats. 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, 3 walks, and a 6-3 win. That was when he went up against Josiah Gray, and he outpitched him. But we already went over his home numbers. Listen to these numbers. The Angels are now hitting .232 with a .672 OPS versus lefties. Can you imagine that? With Trout and Ohtani, you can't hit lefties. Marlins versus righties, .252, .734 OPS. Angels bullpen being below average all year, 4.04 ERA, 1.23 whip, converted 21 of 36. Marlins bullpen, 4.21 ERA, 1.33 whip, converted 21 of 34. Take it away here for us, Jose. Angels, Marlins.
Angels first 5. This is my big simp play of the day. I think Ohtani has a really good start here today. I think this is going to be one of those. Jimmy, I know you're not on the Twitter machine a lot, but there's a tweet that goes viral often whenever Trout and Ohtani go off and the Angels lose. It goes along the lines of every time I see an Angels game, it's Ohtani and Trout combined to do something for the first time since Joey Kahoozie in the Battle of 1642, and the Angels lose. But I really think that, first, I told you at the beginning of the year that I think Ohtani is a fucking freak, and he already won the MVP, and he will go for the Cy Young. So I think that's the starters. I think he'll have a good game here today, coming off his birthday. I believe in all that stuff. Angels first 5 minus a half. Angels are 15th against lefties in the last 2.5 weeks, 110 weighted runs created plus. So sure. It's better. Righty against righties, the Marlins are 102. That's 15th as well. So I just believe in Shohei his ability. And ultimately, at the end of the day, this is a purely Otani bet. I understand that it looks like everyone's on Marlins here, and everyone's saying that it was a little bit juiced or a little inflated. Truthfully, I thought it was a little underinflated because I see every time Otani comes on the mound, it's minus 200 minimum. And Trevor Rogers is a guy that I have not been able to get right all year. Every time I hear him, I hear Sharpie and Noli's voices in my head going back and forth on him. And like you mentioned, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, 3 walks at the Nationals last time out. Fantastic. But I need him to do it again. He's not been able to pitch super consistently this year. So go again here. I would love to see it. And hopefully, like I said, Otani shows up in a big way here today.
Very, very interesting game. We have Nate Cerna leaning towards the fish. Benjamin Mills saying can't back the Angels. Billy Brisbane in the house saying Marlins money line definitely worth it. Lee Davis going to be on the Marlins. Paul Trippy going to be on the Marlins. The only man saying the Angels is the one you see before you, Jose Bouquet. Do you want minus a half at minus 107?
You got minus a half at minus 107? What?
Yeah. The line's moving. The Pinnacle line has moved the Angels all the way down to minus 155.
What the fuck, dude? On Bovada, it's still minus 165 and minus 120 for the first 5. That is the first 5 minus a half, obviously. Yeah, I'll take that. I'm betting the minus 120 personally just now. But that's fucking crazy. And you know, I will say this. I was a little Hershey squirty because of Pinnacles giving me the best lines yesterday. 2-0 yesterday on the place. So, yeah.
Important note. It says that's important to mention, yeah. Because that's in my head all the time as well, you know, when Pinnacle gives you the best lines. But even Pete said, don't,
Yeah, it's not the end all be all, obviously. Yeah. Hey, here's a hot take. There's not one end all be all in sports capping. We'll all figure it out some way or another.
Angels first 5 minus a half at minus 107. Cheshire Cat, I'm not going to ask him. Not going to ask him, but I have an idea. Big Show says, Jose, that's one of the best stats to track, though.
Hershey scored?
No.
Is that the amount of Hershey scores per 9 innings?
Okay, let's stay focused here. I'm surprised as well. Why would the market be moving so briskly towards the Marlins all of a sudden? Because it's not public money doing it.
Yeah, I mean, and truthfully, that is the main concern here. If money's flooding towards the Marlins this fast, obviously I'm not feeling great about my Angels bet. And ever since the beginning of the year, you can't really feel good at all about betting the Angels. But I think Shohei Otani is a different breed, and it's hilarious to me, Jim. It is so funny to me. Aaron Judge could hit 70 home runs, and as long as Shohei Otani has like a 3 ERA and an 800 OPS, he gets MVP. I love it. I fucking love it. So I hope Aaron Judge hits all the home runs this year, and he comes in second to Shohei Otani for MVP.
God, what's the only way you lose this? In my estimation, is that Trevor Rogers shuts out the Angels over 5.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. And by the way, you mentioned Otani's home road splits. Let's remember, you mentioned it about the Yankees start. That was in the Bronx, and he tipped his pitches and gave up a fuckload of runs. So that is obviously going to blow up his ERA and stuff as well. So that's just something you can keep a note on. I just think he's just ridiculous, guys. Like, it is a crime. I flog myself at least once a day because I have not made the pilgrimage to go watch Otani play in Houston yet. It really bothers me. But yeah, I don't hate anyone taking the Marlins here at a plus money price. It's the Angels. They're fucking horrible everywhere else besides these 2 dudes and Jared Walsh sometimes. So I really, really do not hate it. And by the way, yes, this is one of my 2-man crushes or through 2.5, I should say. The other one's a whole team. But yes, this is one of them.
Wow. In very, very, very interesting spot. Billy Friedrich says, Ohtani is an MVP if his team doesn't make the playoffs. There's got to be truth to that.
Not in baseball. Not in baseball. In every other sport that matters, not in baseball.
But if they end up 20 games under 500.
They were 20 games under 500 last year. It didn't matter.
No, 20. If they end up 20 games under 500, that last year Trout was out all year. Trout's not been out all year. You can't give it to him.
I promise you, if he throws, if it's like a 3.2 ERA over 800 OPS, he should win it every year, just like LeBron and NBA back in the day. It's one of those things. He should win it every year for doing that. And you know what's funny? When I think about that argument, it makes me make sense of why everyone's like, oh, Babe Ruth, the best baseball player of all time. It makes a whole lot of sense now. Like, oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah. Big Show Picks will close with this. Has a question. Oh, by the way, Billy Friedrich says it's, he could only agree with you on this spot. And Billy Brisbane says you're selling me here. Ken Mizrahi, I can't wait. We'll be live for opening day in 8 days here on Pub Sports Radio all day. Big Show says, Jose, how deep does he go today? He only went 5 1/3 last game. How deep does he go today?
I was going to say 6 to 5 innings, probably. That's probably what he does. If he's feeling really good, like he was against the Royals, he'll go deep. But it's usually 5, 6, 7 innings around there. So ideally, I would say 6 innings. I've got first 5 minus a half or whatever it is. But yeah. And by the way, shout out to Cheshire Cat, who's really, of all the people that watch the show, Cheshire Cat really listens to every word I say. He really listens, and I appreciate it.
Let's move on. Jose's in Angels first 5 minus a half minus 107, and I don't know what to make of getting such a good price on that. And whenever you're getting such a good price, it makes me very nervous. So
it is weird.
I'm not going to do anything at this point. Let's move on to 6:40 p.m. Eastern. New York Mets 50-31, 24-18 on the road at Cincinnati Reds 28-52, 14-26 at home. We're at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. David Peterson going up against Graham Ashcraft. Now we cashed, if you guys remember that game, Ashcraft, I forget who he was up against. Hendricks, Ashcraft. It was last Friday, and the move was 9.5 to 10. And I was like, you know what? It doesn't scare me at all. I shouldn't say it doesn't scare me. It doesn't make me feel like I missed the line move because 10 was going to be a win. Now 10 is a push. I think this game's going over. It was 15-7 final, but we didn't think Ashcraft would get lit up. We thought it might be the other way around. Remember, the wind was blowing out 16 or 17 miles an hour at Wrigley. I think that Ashcraft is more than capable of bouncing back here. In saying that, I don't want to bet on it, but I think he's more than capable of bouncing back here. James Lill in the house. Don Max says Ashcraft left me down tough last time. Okay. Let's break this down. Mets, Reds. First, we'll go with the weather at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. 89 Fahrenheit. Feels like 102. Hot. 7.5 miles per hour right to left, slightly in. But the wind changes dramatically when the rain comes 2 hours into the game. The wind's all over the map. So all of a sudden, within an hour, the wind's in the opposite direction. And then 2 hours in, it's blowing out to right field. Rain and humidity. There's 23% and higher precipitation throughout the entire game. So weather is a issue. Now let's go over to the line history in this one. So I'm going to pull up. Here we go. Peterson, Ashcraft, 5-cent move to the Twins. The total, it opened up at 9.5. It's up to 10. 9.5 to 10. Now let's take a look at the cash flow in this one. We have about, I would say, 15% line value, maybe 14% line value on the Mets. 7,654 tickets in. 88% of the tickets, 87% of the cash on the Mets. Then 48% of the tickets, 71% of the cash on the over. So we've seen it move from 9.5 to 10, but we've seen no market move towards the Mets and David Peterson. Peterson's 5-1 with a 3.24 ERA, 1.20 whip, 58 1/3, 60 Ks, 22 walks, 6 home runs. In his last 31, 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 10 Ks, and no walks. It was an impressive performance in the 4-3 win at home over the Rangers, who hit lefties pretty well. That's where he has been a little worse. On the road, he's been very good. 2-0, 2.17 ERA, 180 opponent's batting average. Ashcraft has been good at home. And if you put a line through that 2 1/3, 7 hits, 7 earned runs, 1K, 2 walk, 15-7 loss at the Cubs, he's been excellent this year. At home, 3-1, 2.59 ERA, 211 opponent's batting average. Mets versus righties, 261, 737 OPS. And I don't have, for whatever reason, Reds versus lefties. I only pulled up versus righties. I don't know what I was doing there. So I'll pull up the Reds versus lefties unless Jose has it handy. Mets bullpen, 3.61 ERA, 1.25 whip, 23 of 34 converted save opportunities. Reds bullpen, the worst in the league, 5.57 ERA, 1.50 whip, converted 15 of 25. Take it away here, Jose. Mets, Reds.
In the last 2 weeks, they are 18th against lefties, 102 weighted runs created plus. By the way, Mally Mala saying Peterson just had a kid, so just remember the new father bump is still alive. But you know, the shocking thing about this was the Mets against lefties or against righties, excuse me, in the last 2.5 weeks, 27th, 84 weighted runs created plus. Just not that good right now, plain and simply. I do think the Ashman can come back here and pitch pretty well. And I think you said it perfectly. Do I want to put my money on it and see? No, not particularly. So this was a pass game for me. The total being super high was, I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable betting those super high totals, not in Cincinnati at least. I understand that it's a super hitter friendly ballpark as well, but I ultimately just I would rather bet those in Wrigley or in Coors, not here. I understand Ballpark Pal saying 3-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to right center and 84% humidity. So it's moving. The ball will be moving here today, and 18% more likelihood for home runs as well. But yeah, I just don't want to put my money on Ashcraft here against a Mets team that I think can win the World Series. And shout out to Max Scherzer for coming back and pitching really well yesterday. Just making me feel better about Mets Braves versus the Astros, probably.
Yeah, I still have not moved on a future that doesn't include the Jays, which could cost me $1,150 now. Dutch Boy Fresh says Mets 23-7 off of a loss. D. Jenkins says Mets off of a loss is hard to bet against.
By the way, D. Jenkins, I get my stats from Fangraphs. I pay for the subscription so I can get the splits leaderboard. I don't know if you can, if you do have the splits leaderboard, if you don't pay, but yeah, I pay for them because hopefully they stay in business because they're always like, give us money or we're going to fall out of business. So
yeah, they freak out.
I give them my money because I like their stats.
Cheshire Cat on the Mets as well. I'm not.
It's a tough game. I mean, I think this is a very tough card in general, to be honest with you. So,
well, I've made no additions to my card, so maybe that's the truth here. Okay, and the splits leaderboard is accessible without paying, says Don Mack.
Beautiful.
Fangraph's a great site. Okay, Mets, Reds. Now, I did have an asterisk beside the Mets when I was writing down all the information. And
word on the street is, Jimmy, that you don't like Peterson.
I don't trust him. But I should stop that. I mean, he's pitching well. I think that was an impressive performance against the Rangers because we know what they're capable of doing against lefties. And spreadsheet pulls directly from Fangraphs. No need to pay. Ronnie Crawford.
Yes, that is true. I have heard of that. And I hear he has told me that. The only reason I pay is just so they stay in business. Same with the Athletic too.
Okay, let's move on.
I do like Saturated the World of Ashcraft. That's a good one, right?
It is good. The chat's been popping, man. It's been very funny. Billy Friedrich's been on one. He's a lot of great stuff coming from the chat. Okay, I'm not moving on it. Let's move on. 7 p.m. Eastern, St. Louis Cardinals at Atlanta Braves. When the show started, we went over how all the big bets were coming in on the overs, except the last 4 games that Sports Insight had listed, and they go NL, AL, Interleague. Miles Michaelis, Max Fried. I was surprised to see all the cash moving towards the over. There's Dennis Garcia in the house. Great to see you, Den. Miles Michaelis, Max Fried. By the way, so the rumor is that someone has seen Dennis Garcia. And I didn't ask. It's Benny Pennybaum's night. I didn't ask. I don't want to know. I want to know myself what he looks like, and I want to tell no one. I want to keep the magic of Dennis Garcia just the way it is.
I didn't know that this was a thing. Truly,
it is a thing.
I did not know it was a thing. I just know that he's an avid runner. He's probably listening to us on his morning jog right now.
He's a very mysterious guy and a spectacular capper. And so he is somebody that I want to meet and will meet this year.
I will say this. The two people that are the same way like that for me until recently, Nasty Nate. Nasty Nate. Seeing Nasty Nate was a shock. So shout out to Nasty Nate.
I love that guy.
Oh my God, just so funny there. Shout out to Nasty Nate. And then Kyle Hantlian too. I recently saw a picture of Kyle Hantlian on his Twitter or something like that. And in my head, I don't know what I had in my head for Kyle Hantlian, but I will say this, and the chat's going to blow up when I say this. More attractive than I thought he would be. Shout out to Kyle Hantlian. Hot guy. Hot guy, Kyle Hantlian. Now I think they make some money, dude. Only hot guys are rich. Come on.
There's just been a lot of man love on this show, and
we gotta spread it around a little bit.
All right, Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. Miles Michaelis going up against Max Fried. God, he just picks just the right word to just like.
Hey, both these teams are good at hitting each other, though.
5-6, 2.61 ERA, 0.99 WHIP. Billy Friedrich thinks you're tripping on ecstasy. Oh, that's funny.
I haven't done that yet.
100 innings, 79 Ks, 21 walks, and 9 home runs. Miles Michaelis in his last start. And Bobano talked about Miles Michaelis on the Friday show, but, he looked so good to start the year, which surprised us. Then he slipped up, and we're like, okay, that's the Miles Michaelis from last year. But he seems to be rolling yet again. In his last start, 5 3rd, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 1 K, 2 walks, and a 5-3 loss at the Phillies. On the road, his road home splits, there's nothing. There's no discernible difference. He's just good everywhere so far this year. Max Fried on the other side, 8-2, 2.66 ERA, 1.03 WHIP, 101 in the third, 96 Ks, 16 walks, 6 home runs. I'm sorry to go back to this, but please. Dennis Garcia is so interesting to me. You know what his email handle was? Sky Dragon.
Fuck yeah. Dude, he runs. Again, he runs. I saw a comment. Shout out to Jared TG. He said, running? I can't remember the last time I ran. I feel the same way. I couldn't imagine fucking going out for a jog. I say this frequently. I would rather die than work out.
Oh,
just shout out to Dennis, man. Shout out to Dennis.
Yes. Dennis is the most mysterious man in the world. The most interesting man. Maybe we'll call him that. Okay.
And I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
If we say anything bad about like the Blue Jays or like the Leafs or like some hockey team he's backing, he'll pop up. Without notice, he'll pop up. And we'll say something about like the Flames being rats, and then Dennis Garcia will be like, "Hello."
Well, he's about to go back to nap time. Whatever we've done over the last 90 seconds has not inspired him to watch the show. Max Fried, 2.66 ERA, 1.03 WHIP, 96 Ks, 16 walks, 6 home runs. In his last start, he went 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, no walks, and a 9-1 win at the Reds. At home, he's been a little worse. Then he's been on the road, 4-2, 2.92 ERA, 262 opponents batting average. The Cards versus lefties, 265, 778 OPS. They've been quite good. They had a little bit of a hiccup about a month ago, but they've been really good. And the Braves hit righties. The Braves have offense, and I can't find it. When Luis Urias, Rowdy Tellez, Yelich, really are these but the numbers show that they have offense. 246, 743 OPS versus righties. Cards bullpen 3.51 ERA, 1.22 WHIP, have converted 18 of 28 saves. Braves bullpen 3.24 ERA, 1.18 WHIP, have converted 28 of 45 saves. Let's go to the weather first in Atlanta, and it is where the hell is it? Sorry, it's hot. 90 Fahrenheit, feels like 99 Fahrenheit. But it's not windy, which makes it even hotter. 5.7 miles per hour at first, goes down to 4.7. Right to left, slightly out. Let's take a look at the line history in this one. Braves. This one was fascinating. The fact that all these big bets would come on the over against these excellent pitchers, you have to think, is it weather related? Also, the first move, the Braves open up at minus 192. They get up to minus 200 within 28 minutes. Since then, all Cards. So the Braves have gone down to minus 170, a 30-cent drop from their high. From a total perspective, opened up 8.5 to the under. It's now 8.5 to the over. And that makes sense when you look at how it's being bet thus far. Let's pull it up here. You have quite a bit of line value here on St. Louis. 30% line value on St. Louis, 6,733 tickets in. And all the big bets have come in on St. Louis. 47% of the tickets, 85% of the cash. Then 27% of the tickets, 65% cash on the over. So what the market is telling me, and I'd love to hear what you have to say about that. And Polo, we'll get into that question here in a second. What I want to hear is, I guess the market is telling me that the biggest advantage is the Cards versus lefties. And that even though Max Fried is an excellent pitcher, coming off 7 innings of allowing 1 earned run against the Reds, that he might be a little bit vulnerable against the Cards, whereas Michaelis should be expected to have a good start against the Braves. Why was I talking about the Brewers?
I don't know. You went on a Brewers rant there, and I was like, yeah.
Sorry, my bad. I don't know what that was on. I guess Braves.
You're like Ron Burgundy. Whatever you read, you just read it in front of you. You do it. I love it. I love
my
it.
bad. My apologies for talking about the Brewers. And Ron Crawford, 122 weighted runs created. St. Louis versus left-handed pitching. Take it away here. Do you agree with this market move towards the Cardinals and towards the over? Cardinals Braves.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals are back to hitting lefties. I don't know how long ago it was. It was a couple of days ago. It was one of those things where I talked about how the Cardinals hit lefties. I didn't even understand how or why, but they do. They're right now in the last 2.5 weeks, 8th, 127 weighted runs created plus. I faded Max Fried last time out. I took the Reds team total over, like it was 3.5, something like that. That didn't work out well. I don't know why I like fading, or I am fading Max Fried, even though he's probably my second favorite lefty in baseball. But I am going to do that again here. I'm not picking a side traditionally because I also do not trust Mikolas that much either. I just don't want to have to worry about that, truthfully. So I took the team total, or I'm going to take, I should say, team total over 3.5 here, minus 120. I also don't hate a 4 at plus 125 it is. But I'm going to move on that first, or the team total 3.5 minus 3.5 minus 120. The line value thing and all the money and all that stuff kind of pushed me to the edge there at the end of the day.
Huh. Very interesting. Over 3.5, we can get you at minus 109 over at Pinnacle.
What the fuck? I'm getting just fucked by these lines today. It's crazy.
No, just get used to it, really. Pinnacle just does that. Pinnacle will just, like, I'm so used to it, and now I'm going to have an account there finally. But it's just they don't give you any bonuses, right? Because they give you the best odds in the business. They're the best book if you can get them. Say hey play of the day here is on the Cardinals team total over 3.5 minus 109. So if you like the Cardinals team total over 3.5 minus 109, what is keeping you off let's see what it is actually, what the plus money is on the Cardinals first 5 before I talk about it here. Let's
it would be Mikolas it's just trusting Mikolas against the Braves bats, who are 123 weighted runs created plus in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks ish, against righties. I can see the over here. I also like the over as well in this game. Both offenses I think are very capable. The Braves are phenomenal, and like I said, if it's not the Mets, it's the Braves. Those are my 2 NL squads that I really think are the best this year. And going to battle out for the World Series. By the way, as I said that I think yesterday, and I said the Dodgers were not in my top 3, top 2. Chris Taylor fractured foot yesterday too, so another big blow for the Dodgers. It just it does not seem like their year. It just really doesn't, with the Freddie Freeman shit, injuries, and probably no Walker. So I really think NL East battle is going to be interesting. It's really going to be interesting. And I know Jeffrey Moore laughing when I say the Mets. It's going to get laughs every time because the Mets are just generally a hilarious team. But let's just not forget that they've made the World Series in my lifetime. They've made the World Series. Did they lose it? Yeah, but they made it. So we'll see.
Subway Series.
I wasn't even talking about that one. That doesn't even count in my head because I wasn't even a coherent human. Talking
one are you
about
talking
Mets Royals. Mets Royals.
Oh my God, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Matt Harvey starting game 1 of the World Series.
I shut down after the Royals knocked us out.
Well, truthfully, I don't remember like all that much from those Royals years. But I do remember the Blue Jays just socking dingers every fucking day. And then I remember I watched the highlights of them. I think it was a walk-off win against you guys, something like that. But yeah, it was pretty brutal. Donaldson, Encarnacion, Bautista.
Oh man, our city was on fire. It was
Literally the Vancouver situation.
No, we were just so excited. Like it's the most excited it's bigger. It's a bigger deal than the Raptors or the Leafs would probably be the biggest deal. Not that I would care. But Cheshire Cat, it's more than he was just traded. Freddie Freeman. He went back to Atlanta, and it came out that he fired his agents. He's upset. I guess he didn't hear the last offer the Braves.
The agent didn't tell him.
Yeah, I don't know what is truth and what isn't. But
I'll say Trevor Story, who has the same agent as Freddie Freeman, promptly fired him earlier this offseason or earlier this season as well.
Okay. I guess this would just be gambling. And in gambling, you want the proper implied probability. I feel like you're getting it at plus 145.
It's a good coin flip.
Yeah. So I feel like you're getting it with the cards at plus 145. But if you go to batter versus pitcher, it doesn't bring you any more confidence in it. And I'm still kind of dealing with my overexuberance in that stupid last Friday, 40.82% implied probability at plus 145. 40.82% of the time, not including pushes, will the Cardinals cover the first 5? Probably.
Well, it seems like you're just uncomfortable about backing Mikolas, really. So, like I said, I just take him out of the equation. So if you think the Cardinals are going to get to Fried here today, team total, or you can just go over in general. Fuck Mikolas.
Okay, I'm going to keep thinking about this spot. Millsy, yes, I would love to read out your prop. I can't.
I think he's on a Michael Harris thing for the rookie for the Braves, who also is very good, but he is 4th on the pecking order of NL rookies, unfortunately.
Okay. Oh, Jam Man. What's the birthday play of the day for Jam Man? Yesterday's birthday play today got nullified with a pitching change.
Oh,
Jam Man, let's get it for you.
I bet you Pete slept happy though yesterday.
Jam Man, Nasty Nate in the house as well. Jam Man coming to us from Montreal. He's had my back since I started. Happy birthday, Jam Man, my guy. Okay, well, let's keep rolling. God, I've just been very hesitant on today's card, and I thought I would have a bunch of action. I like your look there. Say, hey, play today. Cardinals team total over 3.5. And I'm just going to put Cardinals first 5. I mean, the market is telling me that this is a live spot. I think I should just go with it. I mean, if you look at this here, you've seen this market move back to the Cardinals. There's the over is being bet, and people like the over, which means there's high volatility or higher than normal. You've got a situation where all these big bets are coming in on the Cardinals. You know they can hit lefties. And I think I'm going to move on the Cardinals first 5. I think that implied probability makes sense for me. Okay, let's keep rolling. And happy birthday, Jam Man. We will get you a birthday pick, but it does require care, a ton of care. So let's keep moving here.
I know what the birthday pick is, if anyone ever asked me. So,
well, let's hear it. You already have your birthday pick. Let's hear it.
It's in the next game. Let's move right into it. I'm excited. It's on the tip of my tongue. I'm so excited, and everyone knows exactly what it is.
How could we not? Because this is what it is.
Oh yeah, you're gonna fucking make me raise it, Jam Man. You're gonna fucking make me raise it.
New York Yankees 58-23, 24-14 on the road at the Pittsburgh Pirates 33-47, 20-22 at home. PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Hold on, can I call time out for a second? I have a special message for Sun Dizzle. Fuck you, Sun Dizzle. Fuck you and fuck Baylor. Oklahoma State's going to beat their ass October 1st. Continue.
And if anybody is in the area, we'll be there too. Pop Sports Radio will be there too. I'll be in all green.
And it'll be the same energy towards you, Jim. I'm already pre-mad. I looked up the date today, and I was like, October 1st. All right, I'm already heated. I fucking hate Baylor.
Oh man, I'm gonna face paint. Oh, it's gonna be great, dude.
It's right up there. It's Jim. It's the Yankees, Oklahoma football, and Oklahoma in general, I guess. Oklahoma OU. And then Baylor right there. I fucking can't stand him. And then the Tampa Bay Rays. Evan Longoria, actually.
Rob Free and Robert Franklin possibly getting me off this spot. I do have 3 asterisks and 4 question marks, but Rob Free says don't do it. Jimmy Cards bats have not shown up with Michaelis on the mound. Robert Franklin is Fried versus Cards, 197 average, 495 OPS. Arenado, 3 for 13, and Goldschmidt, 0 for 6. Ronnie Burgess is thinking about going down to the stadium for this one. And this is the Yankees Pirates game, Ronnie and Bergia in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Great city. Luis Severino going up against Mitch Keller. Luis Severino has been very good. I was extremely impressed with those back-to-back starts against the Astros. He's just pitching well. He's looked a little vulnerable on the road, we thought, but he certainly didn't look vulnerable at Houston last out. 1-2, 4.32 ERA, 193 opponent's batting average on the road. But overall, 3.35 ERA, 1.05 whip, just been very good this year. 91 Ks in 78 innings. Going up against Helen Mitch Keller, the great Helen Mitch Keller. Dynamite on the mound. 2-5, 5.14 ERA, 1.53 whip. 70 innings, 59 Ks, 31 walks, 6 home runs. In her last start, 4 innings, 9 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 Ks, 4 walks. Didn't look good, an 8-7 win at Washington. But she's been better at home than she's been on the road. 0-3, 4.46 ERA, 258 opponent's batting average. Yankees versus righties, 239, 747 OPS. Pirates versus righties, 221, 665 OPS. Yankees bullpen almost 2 runs better. That's not what he's into, Billy. 2.70 ERA, 1.13 whip, 28-38. Maybe the gray face might make it a little more masculine, but okay.
Yeah, no, Helen doesn't do it for me. Only Shohei Ohtani and someone that's coming up very soon.
Jose, let's give the wind and the situation, and then you can take over. Possible light rain throughout the first 2 hours of the game. 6.6 miles per hour left to right, and then it comes slightly in at 4.7 miles per hour. From a line history perspective, let's grab that here in this Pittsburgh Yankees spot. And I'm also going to refresh. So we know that the highest Sports Insights line value has been on the Pirates here. Let's just do a little refresh, see if there's anything changed, if there's any more information that's come in, and go over here. And it has not changed. The highest implied value for the Pirates, this Pirates squad opened up plus 200. They're down to plus 170. The Yankees open up minus 240. There's been a 40-cent move against them.
Mm-hmm.
Then from a totals perspective, it opened up at 9 and dropped to 8.5, which implies a nice start from Helen Keller. 7,000. Oh, excuse me. I shouldn't say Helen Keller because both Kellers are pitching today.
Mm-hmm. And Kelly is pitching today too. It's lovely.
Helen Mitch Keller. There's 7,137 tickets in. 11% of the tickets are on the Pirates, 15% of the cash. Then 51% of tickets on the under and 94% of the cash on the under. Take it away, Jose. Ball's yours. Pirates at home to the Yankees.
Well, and I'm going to start doing this. I made this bet last night. I tweeted it last night. Plus 110, Pirates team total over 3.5. I mean, dude, come on. Again, I will bet this every single day. It's at 3.5, 3. Every single time, no matter what. I don't care if it's Corbin Burns. I don't care if it's Brandon Woodruff. I don't care if it's Garrett Cole. I'm going to bet him every single time. And it's so funny to me. I saw Bleacher Report or some shitty betting Twitter tweet this out. If you bet the Pirates money line every game against the Pirates or against the Yankees and Dodgers this year, you're 6-1. Come on. It's Pirates every time for me. The only reason why I'm not going to be on the Pirates, and obviously lineups are not out yet, so we'll see, is if my big baby boy, O'Neal Cruz, is not in the lineup, and I fully expect him to play because he is hopefully our future NL Rookie of the Year. Buy your O'Neal Cruz rookie cards now. It's going to be a great time. I hope we all prosper on 6'7" Jaylen Brown playing shortstop. Pirates team total over 3.5 for me. And I will look up what the lines are right now because maybe, just maybe we get a ladder play here. But 3.5 right now is only one I'm moving on.
Plus 114 at Pinnacle. Let's see what Circa is offering. Circa's still hanging a 9 in this one, so maybe it won't be quite as good.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I got plus 105 at Bovada too. So and Billy Friedrich saying the 3 at minus 119 a bookmaker. I would probably take that. That's usually what I would do here. 3 to 3.5 is my little ladder thing. 3.5 to 4 has not worked out seemingly as well. But yeah, it's ridiculous that they keep doing this. And shout out to Mr. Pussy Coffee for doing this with the Reds originally. I can see why now. I can easily see why. If they're gonna keep giving us these low totals, we'll keep betting them, and we'll keep fucking raising that goddamn flag every fucking time too. Shout out to Jackson.
So, do you want the 3 as well at minus 119?
Yes, of course. Because Jim, I've got a bunch of fucking boppers in this lineup. They're 10th against righties this last 2.5 weeks, 110 weighted runs created plus. And Jim, that is higher. Well, it's not higher because I bet on them every day, but that's higher than what it normally is because at many points of this year, I would bet on them when they were like dead last against righties, dead last against lefties, because it doesn't matter. Because what we do here in Pittsburgh, when you get on the pirate ship, Jim, when you jump upon the pirate ship, they give you a sword, they give you an eye patch, and they give you a hat. And they give you one last thing. Because whenever you're in doubt, whenever you don't know what to do, Jim, you raise it all the way up there, and you fucking raise that Jolly Roger.
How do you not tail that? Is that Jam Man's birthday play of the day?
Of course. Shout out to my man Jam. 3 minus 120 or 3.5, whichever one you can bet. I love both. I love the Pirates. I love Jack Sawinski. I love O'Neal Cruz. Unfortunately, my guy Tupaquiza Marcano got sent down again. So I'm gonna have a Marcano jersey, and he might never play in the majors again. But the O'Neal Cruz jersey will be coming here soon. I cannot wait because I of course am gonna buy an O'Neal Cruz jersey. I mean, why wouldn't I? He's so fucking good. He's so good. Oh my god, I love him so much. He's my second.
His beautiful breakdown. Very hard not to tail that. Very hard not to tail that.
Yeah, you know, Jim, it only hurts my feelings a little bit every day when you say, "Oh, this guy, he's betting Pirates team total every day. He's doing a great job." And not once if you don't think you've bet on Pirates with me. Not once in this whole season.
I certainly have left some money on the ground here. I'd be curious. Yeah.
And here's the thing, Jim. My negative Nancy is coming out. If they do end up losing today, getting shut out today, it doesn't matter because we'll back on them again tomorrow. That's the beautiful thing about the Pirates. They get blown out and shut out by Woodruff. They come back and they have a good outing against the Yankees. It is a beautiful thing what these young and dumb Pirates are doing. And I'll say this little streak is only going to last about 2 more weeks because when the All-Star break comes, we have to reset everything back to 0 and a clean slate basically with all the teams. And we'll see what happens. But 2 more weeks of Pirates love and 2 more weeks of peg legs and eye patches.
Spectacular breakdown. Team total over 3 minus 119, over 3.5 at plus 114. Oh yeah, Slow Jams. And Pete remembers well when Toite Latte did it as well. And you're doing it the exact same, similar, because he was doing first fives and full game team totals as well, but similar. But you're doing it very, very well. Don Max says Pirates can throw a lot of lefties at Severino too. So I'm going to put a bunch of asterisks beside it. I'm interested. I may be on it with you. I'm going to take a little bit more time. I probably should though.
Just do
I
the
don't see
Blue
why.
Jays thing. Just do the Blue Jays thing with the Pirates here. Wake up, brush your teeth, say hello to Ella, bet the Pirates. You know what
That
I
Blue
do,
Jays
Jim?
thing didn't last very long. Your Pirates thing is really lasting.
Oh yeah, it's lasted. It really has, and it's truly shocking to me. Like I said, this is my first season capping baseball in front of everyone publicly, all that good stuff. We're having a good year, but it truly is shocking to me that they have not adjusted these lines. Like I've said many times, if it's a 4, I'll start being hesitant. But if it's a 3.5 to 3, I'll keep betting them. 4.5. I'm like, but I'll probably still bet it. But it's shocking. If there was a 4 every day, I'd be scared. But we'll keep taking it. We'll keep riding it. Shout out to the books.
Impressive. You know where Jose wants it right here, right in the old.
Right there.
All right, we move on. Robert Franklin got 3.5 plus 105. 3.5 for me is minus 105. Preston Ekdahl giving a shout out to Ronnie Imburgia and Ick Schnizzle for buying beers to the pub, getting closer and closer day by day. How exciting is that going to be when we're all in Atlantic City together and all the rooms are paid for and food and a couple other things that we'll be able to do with that cash. So we're all very, very, very excited. Let's move on. 7:05 p.m. Eastern, and 2 different plays of the day reside here with the Texas Rangers, 37-42, 22-20 on the road, at the Baltimore Orioles, 38-44, 20-17 at home. Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland, Charm City. We have Stimmy OG's play of the day is on the Orioles Rangers over 9.5. That's Stimmy OG's play of the day. And also, we have arrived at sweet Taint. Baltimore Orioles money line for Taint. Taint play of the day backing the Orioles, Glenn Otto. I mentioned Otto a little bit off the top of the show. I felt he was really starting to find his rhythm. I have been a believer in Glenn Otto, and it's cost me money. But also, I haven't faded him in times where he has pitched well. He started pitching well, and I was like, God, am I going to mess this down or mess this up? Mess this up. What the hell's wrong with me? And
You're on the ecstasy I gave you.
But he was starting to find a nice rhythm. He went on the COVID list on June 10th. It took him a while to get off the list. He's looked terrible. Since he started twice, 6 innings, 10 earned runs combined, not look good. On the road, he's looked much better than he has at home so far this year. And he's looked good on the road in tough situations. I mean, he's looked really good on the road against the Astros. 2-2, 3.60 ERA, 2.07 opponent's batting average on the road. But his last start was at the Mets, and he did not look good. 4 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs. 5.63 ERA, 1.53 whip on the season. Going up against Spencer Watkins. Another, I do not know what to do with Spencer Watkins coming off a nice start at Minnesota. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no homers, 5 Ks, 1 walk. 1-1 with a 4.61 ERA, 1.49 whip. K to walk ratio ugly, but it's only allowed 5 home runs in 41 innings. And the Rangers don't hit righties. 238, 676 OPS, while the Orioles are hitting 229, 682 OPS. Both bullpens are very good. Very good. And continuing to impress. The Orioles bullpen 3.31 ERA, 1.22 whip, converted 20 of 29 saves in a very tough division. Rangers bullpen 3.38 ERA, 1.19 whip, converted 17 of 31. Woodward doing a nice job managing them. Let's start with the weather in Baltimore. Here we go. It's humid. 82 Fahrenheit, feels like 89, 4.4 miles per hour in. It stops being in pretty much right away. Within an hour at least, it's right to left. Go over to the line history in this Orioles spot. Sorry, let me just find it. Here we go. Otto versus Watkins. We have the Rangers opening up minus 115. There's been a 5-cent move towards the Orioles. It is a pick'em. This total opened up at 9. It lasted at 9 for 3 hours and 15 minutes before it became 9.5. It's now slightly juiced to the under at 9.5. Let's see if the money follows or correlates with all of that. There is 15% line value on the Baltimore Orioles. They have 62% of the tickets, 78% of the cash, but the market's not really moving towards them. Then 81% of tickets, 83% cash on the over, and we've seen it go from 9 to 9.5. Take it away for us. A big one with 2 different specialty plays, Stimmy OG's play of the day, and Taint on Baltimore. What do you think here, Jose? Rangers, Orioles.
I'm going to take a page out of one of our duly departed cappers who, truthfully, I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I wish the worst of things for him after how the season ended. I don't give a fuck about this game. I don't give a fuck about this game. I don't give a fucking shit about this game. It was crazy yesterday. Rougned Odor, of course, hitting a home run yesterday to tie that game. I saw a stat yesterday. I think it was the Orioles are the first team ever in Major League history to give up a lead or give up a go ahead home run in the 8th, 9th, and 10th innings of a game and still win. So I love the Orioles, and it might be an AL East bias here, but I just think you bet on the AL East teams against everyone else in the other divisions simply because they are better. The records might not show that they are better, but the Orioles are a fun squad. They've got young bats. Glenn Otto, sure. 4 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs against the Mets. He's a big Jay-Z guy. And in the Nationals, he gets crushed before that. 2 innings, 6 hits, 6 earned runs. I was on the Otto train for a little bit with you. His stuff plus metrics were pretty high. But I really just don't want to put my money anywhere on this game. It'd probably be Orioles or pass here. Watkins, who's been great, just flat good. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned run, or 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run against the Twins. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 run, not even earned against the White Sox. I think it's one of those things where if you got in on Spencer Watkins early when his streak started riding and he was rolling over teams like that, great, you keep backing him. But if you're just trying to jump on the Spencer bandwagon this one time and trying to like continue riding the wave here, it's like what you guys say, catching a falling knife, all that stuff. You don't know when Spencer Watkins is going to turn back into a slapdick. And I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, this guy's been pitching well those last 3 times. All right, let's try to bet him here. And then he blows up. So a pass game for me. I don't hate an under 9.5 here because of the high run totals the last two games. Will both these offenses do that again, especially in Camden Yards, which has seemingly turned into a pitcher's park as well. So I don't hate an under, but a pass game because I don't give a fuck about this game.
So he has looked bad at home all year, I guess, except for one start against the Red Sox. He's looked bad at home. So he doesn't get a single out at home against the Rays on May 22nd. They send him down to the minors. Here's a 29-year-old who knows this is his last opportunity, really.
You love that shit.
So then he comes back and he's excellent. So he's had a start at Chicago White Sox, kept his career together, and then another start against the Twins. Overall, 11 innings and 1 earned run. And now he's going to go back home and probably shit the bed. You know?
I agree with you. I was thinking in my head just now. I was like, we need another column in your spreadsheet for back against the wall starts. Shout out to Kikuchi, who a lot of people were saying this is your last start or you're going to the bullpen or worse. Spencer Watkins coming back up for the minor leagues. One more shot for you or you're fucked. He comes back and comes through. I don't know if Brad Keller counts as that, but Brad Keller's been sucking ass all year. I talked shit about him finally this last start, and he pitched well. So yeah, I don't hate any of the moves, you know. But there's nothing that I say this frequently, and I love it. People love when I say this. There's nothing that provides the blood flow necessary to get the bets going. So just Orioles Rangers will be a fun game to watch if it's drunk again like last night. But imagine being on the Orioles last night and just fucking getting your heart ripped out of your chest. 3 straight innings with go-ahead home run. Yeah, you just yanked out. And then Cedric Mullins comes out and tells you that Papa's home and takes you home. But I don't want to do that. I really don't want to. I don't want to do that. No, thanks.
And I don't want to fake Glenn Otto. I do not agree. I do not think that we should look at those 2 starts since coming off the COVID IL as I think we should look at when he got in that rhythm as to more who he is. And I don't know who the hell Spencer Watkins is really. Shout out to Millsy. says, check out the boxing show on Pub with Preston and Danny. Preston Ekdahl, Danny Betts did a great job breaking down the fight this week. Just dropped yesterday, main event. Millsy, shouting out our guys, Preston and Danny. Check it out. Talking hands, man. Talking
By the
hands.
way,
yeah.
Speaking of people and shows and stuff, I know Sun Dizzle doesn't do the sports, but I still think Sun Dizzle should be on the show here. You know,
He does sports. He's basketball capper.
Yeah. You know, I know what basketball capper he is. LeBron James, the Lakers. Yeah. Fucking Sun Dizzle.
Oh, no. He's
Fuck
not
you,
like that
Sun
at
Dizzle.
all.
I'm still angry about that Baylor comment. I'm still heated about that. I'm pre-mad. I'm ready to fight. He's like 6'7".
I love the next game and would like to move on it and find it tricky. Let's break it down. 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Washington Nationals 29-54, 15-23 on the road at the Philadelphia Phillies 43-38, 23-20 at home. We're at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We will start with the weather. Let's get rolling with the weather. 85 Fahrenheit, feels like 90, 5.2 miles per hour in. Stays 5.2 to 5 throughout the game. Let's move over to the line history in this one. And pull it up here. Josiah Gray off a terrible start against Nola, and there's been no movement. None. Which is strange. Let me just verify that. I should trust the site, but it is true. No movement whatsoever since it came out at midnight. Now let's take a look at the total. Opened up minus 120 to the under. It became a pick 'em. It's now minus 115 to the under. So a 5-cent move towards this over. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this. We have the two sides with this. So we know that the Pirates have the most line value. There are three sides that are in second with line value. They are the Washington Nationals, the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Kansas City Royals. Very interesting. Let's talk about this one. 6,657 tickets in. 14% of the tickets are on the Nationals and 44% of the cash. Wow. 72% of tickets on the over and 82% of the cash on the over. Fireside says, I like Gray starts too. Always look at the Nats when he goes. D. Jenkins says, love this game. Gray bet on the road. On the road, Josiah Gray is 4-0 with a 2.01 ERA and a 177 opponent's batting average. His last start was at home. I thought that he would get right and fix these splits, but he did not. He looked bad. 5 2/3, 10 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 homer, 6 Ks, 2 walks, which makes me think Spencer Watkins is going to shit the bed at home. Some of these guys just can't get over their splits, and they have some sort of issue when they're at home. But I don't know why Josiah Gray, with all the talent, has this issue. Going up against Aaron Nola, 5-5, 3.13 ERA, 0.92 whip. God, he's been good this year. 103 2/3, 117 Ks, 14 walks, 12 home runs. 0.92 whip. His last start was a win at home over Atlanta. 7 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 homers, 8 Ks, 1 walk. At home, he's not been very good. He's been lights out on the road. He's not been very good at home. 3-1, 4.25 ERA, 191 opponent's batting average. So we have a Philadelphia Phillies team where the line is not moved at all, and the big bets have all come in on Washington. You know, if you took the Cardinals at plus 145 first 5 and the Nationals at whatever they're at, they're probably plus 180 or 175, maybe less.
Split it, and you're good.
Yeah. It'd be the type of thing you might want to do if you were in Vegas. Make 2 big bets on these 2 spots. Just need to cash 1. Nats versus righties, 252, 705 OPS. Phillies versus righties, 248, 729 OPS. We know this Phillies lineup doesn't have Bryce in it anymore. Nats bullpen 4.57 ERA, 1.40 whip, converted 14 of 22. Phillies bullpen 3.84 ERA, 1.33 whip, converted 18 of 27. Jeffrey Moore says Nats first 5 plus a half is plus 120. All right. Take it away, Jose. Should we move and trust these splits? Because if we trust these splits, there's a ton of value on the Nats. And if we trust the fact that this line's not moving at all, there's got to be a reason for it. Take it away, Nats, Phillies.
Well, I'll help you feel better about the Nats, too. Last 2.5-ish weeks since the 19th against righties, 7th, 123 weighted runs created plus, while the Phillies are 16th, 102 weighted runs created plus. So I guess If I had to pick a side here, it would be Nationals. I really, this is just another one of those games where I'm not too particularly interested in. Nothing really jumped out at me. I definitely don't hate Nationals at all. I wouldn't want to take the Phillies at -200 with Nola on the bump. I mean, that's just kind of obvious gambling. 200, you're not going to get your value there. And at least Josiah Gray has pitched well this year. And I believe he's pitched against against the Phillies in this season as well. I'm looking for Nola's Nola starts against the Nationals. He went on the 18th of last month, 8 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 8 Ks, 1 walk. That obviously is worrisome. Can the Nationals offense make a dent in it? Of course. I don't think you're going to get Juan Soto today either. Still recovering from a calf injury. We'll see. Obviously, could be wrong there. No confirmed lineups out right now. But I would just be a little hesitant for backing them against Nola with no Soto. Against the Phillies this year, Josiah Gray, this will be his second appearance on the 18th. 6 innings, 1 hit, 4 Ks, 3 walks, no earned runs there. I don't need an over or under, another one as well. But I just, truthfully don't want to put my money on this game because I just really think this will be a closer game than anticipated. And in saying that, value, obviously, if it's going to be close, you might as well take the plus 180 or plus 150, whatever it is for the first 5 money line as well. So, and by the way, Jim, off topic here, I'm getting offers. There's a lot of hot offers. Combate, it's not Hispanic, but it's definitely a Latino MMA company needs a front man, and it seems like they're looking for a host. Excuse me. And they've obviously seen my tape at the strip clubs, and I think they'll be calling my line here soon.
As they should. Can we see that titty punch really quickly? It
Of
always
course.
puts the,
I think
gets the blood flowing.
My call here, it's very John Anik, Joe Rogan-esque.
Oh boy, do we call it black?
I knew it. I told you.
Call me whenever, Combate. Again, July 28th. Next time Foxy Boxing is back.
Well, I think that you need to trust a couple things here, and if you trust them, that first 5 under 4 is just a tiny bit too tight for me. I mean, are these two really going to allow just 3 runs through 5 innings? I find that tough, and I'm not going to bet it. 4.5, I'd move on. So let's just cut that out. And then if I do think, even though this is being bet towards the over, but I personally believe that there is a good chance for it to go under, and that it's that there is some possible low volatility in this game, you could take the Nats first 5 plus a half. But can you trust this Nats offense?
Yeah, that's the big thing without Soto too. I don't, personally. That kept me off of it ultimately. I will say ballpark pal, 20% more likelihood for home runs today, 10% more likely for runs in general as well. So seemingly offensive weather. So I do not hate an over 8. And you know what? Preston just reminded me of a good gambling story, Jim. Would you like to hear it later?
Definitely.
Sure.
Do you want to do it now or you want to keep rolling?
You know what, Jim, while you're deciding, I'll let you sit there and stare and decide what you want to do in this game. Shout out to Preston, who reminded me of Thunder Rosa. I don't know if you know who Thunder Rosa is, Jimmy. Thunder Rosa is now in the AEW, the professional wrestling company, the one that rivals the WWE. And once upon a time, I would say, I think it was like 6 or 7 months into me gambling, I went to a Combate event with Preston, Jeff, Pub Sports Radio. We had an MMA fighter that we knew fighting in there. And he told me to my face, Jim, he said, I would finish the guy in round 1. And I said, bet, no problem. I'll take the under 2.5 rounds in his fight. We're good. No problem. Of course, he submits the guy in round 3 after my bet loses. So I'm pissed off already that I lose money on that. And then after that guy was like, this not even the main event. this Thunder Rosa, who everyone's wearing her shirt. Everyone's wearing this shirt, and it's like, oh shit, this lady seems like she's good. I'm gonna bet on her in the last fight. We'll chase and try to make my money up in this last fight. She comes out, she's all of 5'3". She might be 5'5" on a good day, Jim. And she's going up against a 6'2" Belgian chick, and she gets her fucking ass whooped. I lose all the money that night. And I have been very close on other podcasts to having an opportunity to interview this Thunder Rosa, who is a champion now at her wrestling promotion. And I have vowed, and I've told every podcast that has offered or said we might get her on the show, I have told them, just know my first question will be, you owe me about $70 for getting your ass fucking kicked by that Belgian bitch. I'll take Venmo, Cash App, whatever it is, but why did you decide to UFC fight for exactly one fight? And then she went right back into the WWE, AEW. So fuck her, Thunder Rosa. I hope she loses her belt immediately.
Wow. That was a fascinating story.
Thank you.
I'm just all twisted up with this game. So, and I still see that poor woman trying to get her titty back in her shirt and taking a rib shot.
Well, let's see it again.
Oh boy, do we call it black?
I knew it. I told you.
I'll never get over the fact that she sat there and waited and then really geared up. She pulled all the way back and then got her right in the fucking tummy tum.
I wrote first 5 under 4 and Nationals first 5 plus a half, but I can't bet the Nats first 5 plus a half if it's possible that Cruz and Soto will be out of the lineup. That'd just be the dumbest shit I could possibly do. It doesn't matter what kind of plus line you're getting. If you what is fucking Bell gonna step up like he hasn't? So I'm not gonna do anything at this point. I'll leave the. I mean, do I really believe in Josiah Gray's stats? I mean, I'm not scared of this Phillies lineup, but I'm surprised that the market's moved towards this over, and then you're backing it up. Sun Dizzle says that's literally what would happen if Jose and I fought. He said I'd be the one getting punched. I'm the one with the titty out. He always fights with one titty out. Yeah. Okay, let's move on here because I really want to talk about Brian Bayo, the 23-year-old.
Hold on, Jim. Let's first of all let's pronounce my newest baby boy's name correctly. It's Bayo, like pretty in Hispaniola. Because this man, he's the next one, Jim. He is the next one. And this is the most excited I've been for a Red Sox game all year.
Ooh, well, that adds a lot. Brian Bayo on the bump going up against Corey Kluber. This will be exciting. We're at Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. The Rays are sort of scuffling, and the Red Sox aren't, after that winning streak, taking the world by storm either. All looking up at the Yankees. And we know that 6 teams make the postseason. So we could see all 4 of them there. Let's talk about the weather first in Fenway. Pull this up here. 76 Fahrenheit, 7.3 miles per hour in. Dies down to 5.7 miles per hour. We have line history for this Kluber Bayo start. Let's move over here. Pineda just got out of the first inning against Cleveland with no harm done. Let's take a look at the line history here. The Red Sox open up as minus 115 favorites. They get up to minus 135 by 1:41 a.m. It's back to minus 125. From a total perspective, they open up at 9, go up to 9.5, and drop back to 9. So it's exactly where it started. Let's see if it all correlates cash-wise here. We have about 35% line value on the Tampa Bay Rays and Corey Kluber. 6,304 tickets in. 55% of the tickets are on Bayo and 81% of the cash. Big bets coming in on Boston. Then 42% of tickets on the under and 80% of cash on the under. Kluber last start was ugly. 9-2 loss at the Jays. And he's been pretty good on the road thus far this year. But he did not look good. 3 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 K, 2 walks. But this Red Sox team's bats have slowed down a little bit. Sticks are 727 OPS now against righties. Bayo in Double-A Portland was absolutely dominant. 4-2, 1.60 ERA, 0.83 WHIP. That was over 6 games he started. He went 33 and 2/3, 42 Ks, 12 walks, 3 home runs. Then he goes up to AAA Worcester, and he's not as dominant. Still very good. 6-2, 2.81 ERA, 1.17 WHIP, 72 Ks and 51 and a third, but did walk 21 batters. Allowed again 3 home runs. So he's allowed 6 home runs in 85 innings. He's been impressive. T-Mac says Tampa Bay first 5 and full game. Yes, it's Bayo.
That's also how you say pretty in Spanish.
So
there's your fun fact.
Take it away here. You're very excited about this kid. We've seen perceived live line value, which I think is a pretty hard thing to quantify if we're talking about a kid making his major league debut at 23 years old. So that doesn't scare me. The big bets are in on the Red Sox, and the big bets are in on the under. Take it away, Jose. Rays, Red Sox.
I'll start with this, and we'll play a little trivia, Jimmy. I know you love trivia.
Sure.
This is the first Red Sox pitcher, homegrown pitcher, that is under 23 or 23 or younger to come up since 2015. Do you remember or do you know who that pitcher was? He is 2015, yes. He actually just recently left the Red Sox. Currently not pitching in the major leagues anymore due to personal issues.
Oh, my God.
Who knows what the personal issues are? His team is currently playing.
I don't have it.
His most memorable moment in the World Series was throwing down his glove after getting chopped off of Yasiel Puig.
And a lefty, too. I should have this. I can't find it. Who is it?
It is Eduardo Rodriguez. Rodriguez.
God, I thought he was older than that.
Last 23 or younger pitcher to make his debut on the Red Sox here in a starting role. The other guy, I know, and Eddie was the easy one. The other guy, if you're a Red Sox fan, you'll remember Henry Owens. When I was younger, Henry Owens was going to be the next Greg Maddux Cy Young. Like, I thought Henry Owens was going to be the GOAT. And now we're back here again. The Red Sox do not develop pitching prospects. It is rare when they do. Bayo is the best pitching prospect to come up for the Red Sox since Clay Buchholz. And I die for Clay Buchholz. One time, Jimmy, I was bat boying. I walked by Clay Buchholz because he was making a rehab start. And I literally almost shit my pants. I almost shit my pants. I love Clay Buchholz to death. He was second in K rate, Bayo, first in ground ball rate amongst the 90 some pitchers in minor leagues that have gone 70 plus innings. He sits at 99 to 98 miles an hour. I think the funniest part about it was when the Red Sox broadcast was talking about Bayo yesterday. They were talking about him, and they just casually do a little pan straight to Pedro Martinez's retired number, and they just hold it there the whole time while they're talking about it, keeping the expectations very low for Bayo here. Everyone in Red Sox Nation is very, very excited about this game. I cannot emphasize how excited I am to watch him. It's like I keep saying, it's not often the Red Sox develop pitching prospects. So I took the Red Sox first 5 here. This is I'm a big dumb bitch homer play of the day. I'm on the Red Sox here because I think Bayo pitches well. The unfamiliarity from the Rays will help us here. Don't know what he features here. Kluber, I do not think is good at all. Okay, I'll amend that. I don't think Kluber is good anymore, especially not on the road. He's got a 3.08 home ERA, which is workable. That they can work with that there. A 4.74 on the road this year. Let me double check Baseball Savant to see if we've got a lot of familiarity with batter versus pitcher when it comes to Kluber. And Baseball Savant's not pulling up. That's lovely. Okay, so it doesn't matter. But obviously they've seen him a lot because he's on the Yankees. And I just have, maybe it's blind faith. Maybe it's just faith in the homer, whatever you want to call it. Turnsy, by the way, Rusty Coons play of the day is a Red Sox full game, so we obviously have to play this. But I am very, 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 very excited to watch Bayo pitch. Very excited.
My bad. I gave out Kluber's home stats. I have road here, but I just double checked, and you are right. So he's been much better at home than on the road. That's an important angle. And
the Red Sox played one of the worst games they've had in the last couple of. Well, the Cubs series was really bad, but that yesterday was really, really tough. So I think there's and if you watch Say Hey plays frequently, you'll know I love backing pitchers either on their first start up in the majors. If you're a really good pitcher, I back you in your first start in the majors because I think you can rise to the occasion. Or it's the opposite where, for example, Josh Winkowski on the Red Sox, he's not like a big pitching prospect, but he's a pretty good prospect. He's been pitching well in Worcester and AAA all year. He comes up, struggles in his first start, walks people, whatever. Look at his AAA numbers. You see, he doesn't walk dudes typically, so he was pretty nervous. Then he back him on his second start, and he turns out to be pretty well here. So I'm trusting that Bayo is going to be Bayo today, and I'm backing Pretty Boy Brian here, first 5. And it's going to be interesting to see if I move on in full game by the beginning of Say Hey plays, because I do like the first 5 -0.5 here at +105. That's what officially I'm going to move on for show purposes. If you got a better line, obviously we can use that, but that's what I'm betting on Bovada. But I'm so excited. This is the other Vaseline game. Oh my God, this is going to be so fucking good.
And your first 5 money line. Sorry, I missed that last. Not -0.5.
No, I'm on first 5 -0.5 here.
Okay.
Because it's money line's -130.
-122 here. But let's get you the -0.5. -0.5 +109.
I'll say this. I'll take that, and I'll go ahead and make the first 5 full game official here. Again, this is maybe the other viral tweet, or this could be a viral tweet. You know, Jimmy, when Pub Sports Radio becomes the #1 predominant betting YouTube channel and all that stuff, the tweet that will go viral for me is I would be up over 100 units if I did not bet on the Red Sox. I would be up so much more if I didn't bet on the Red Sox. But I continue to do it, and I will continue to do it because I watch this team the most, and I feel like I've got the best handle on it. But I've also am a biased piece of shit. So, but I can't wait. I got first 5 -0.5 +105 and full game -125 on Bovada for me. But obviously, there are probably better lines.
And for record keeping purposes, we'll give you the first 5 -0.5 at +109 and full game -122. Huh. Okay. You are locked in. Let's move on. And it's not often that Helen Keller makes our show twice in one day. But up next, Brad Keller. Brad Keller on the bump for the Kansas City Royals. Astros, Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. Keller, 3-9, 4.24 ERA, 1.33 WHIP, 85 innings, just 56 Ks and 28 walks. K to walk ratio, not what you want, but he's coming off a spectacular start. It's when he went up against Pineda on Friday. 6 innings, 5 hits, no earned runs, 5 Ks, 2 walks, and 3-1 win at Detroit. On the road, he's been very similar to what he's been at home. There's not really discernible differences with the splits. Going up against Christian Javier, 6-3, 2.58 ERA, 1.33 WHIP, 69 2/3, 95 Ks. Wow. And only 5 home runs allowed. Fuck. Last out, 7 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run, solo shot, 14 Ks. And no walks, an 8-1 win at home versus the Angels.
Crazy.
It's just running. Nice.
He's been the hottest pitcher in baseball. It's been him and Woodruff. Just the last month, 2 weeks, it's been crazy. It's honestly breathtaking because I remember Christian Javier when he was in the Astros bullpen, and I was like, yeah, I really like this dude. And now, I don't want to say he's a top 5 Cy Young guy, but those are the 2 best starts of the year, probably. So just obscene.
And look at these numbers.
Oh, and one thing, by the way, I've got to charge my computer, so I'll be back on screen here in a second.
No problem. Look at these numbers he has at home as well. I mean, he's just unbelievable right now at home. He's 4-2 with a 1.83 ERA, 148 opponents batting average. They're hitting 148 against him. Royals versus righties, 239, 672 OPS. Astros versus righties, 243, 752 OPS. You can see that number is rising. And Benjamin Mills says Chicago Sky first quarter no good. So that was not an official pick here because the official picks that Tease gives out that we track are when he's on the show. But I'm sorry to hear that didn't go through. Astros first righties, as I said, that number is climbing. They're hitting the ball hard, and this Astros bullpen is over 2.13 runs less allowed per 9 than the Royals bullpen. That's the difference here in this spot. And Javier just rolling. Royals, Astros. Let's go to the line history first. The roof we can expect to be closed as it's hot down there right now. There's been a 20-cent move to the Astros. They opened up minus 260. Right now they're minus 280. From a totals perspective, opened up at 8. It spent most of the time at 8.5. It spent 12 hours at 8.5, 13 hours before at 9:20 a.m. it went back to 8. So maybe Keller going to have an okay start. We'll look at batter versus pitcher here, but let's take a look at the cash flow in this one. This has a lot, 50% line value, 50% line value on Keller and the Royals. Interesting. 9,167 tickets in, 11% of the tickets, 16% of the cash on the Royals. Then 46% of the tickets, 66% of cash on the under. If there's line value on the Royals, they have to think that Brad Keller is going to have a nice start. Take it away, Jose. Royals, Astros.
Well, I talk about Brad Keller being like one of the things I was most wrong about going into the year. I thought Brad Keller would have a good year overall, and he's been, okay, but he only pitches well after I shit all over him. Because last time he pitched, I was like, I'm fucking done with this guy. I was wrong about him. He fucking sucks, yada, yada, yada. And, of course, he goes out there, dominates the Tigers. So I'm going to say the same thing here. He fucking sucks. I don't want to back him here. He's fat. He's ugly. He doesn't make enough money, all that stuff. So now I hope he pitches well. You're welcome, Brad Keller, for all that bulletin board material.
And these Astros haven't seen much of Keller.
It's just truly one of those things where do you really want to back, or I should say, do you really want to fade Christian Javier, the hottest pitcher in baseball, with the team that's hitting the best against righties in the last 2.5 weeks? 138 weighted runs created plus are the Astros. It's just no part of me wants to take the Royals here, unfortunately. The only play I can think of here would be like Royals to score first, because I think they scored first yesterday, and they've kind of started off pretty hot. They scored first on the first game too, actually, because they went up like 6-0, and then they came back. The Astros did. So maybe you can do that. But like I've said about the Astros, this is kind of my default whenever I don't want to talk about a game that's currently happening. I think the Astros are the best team in the American League. It's kind of not that close. It's the Astros, followed by the Yankees, followed by whoever else in the AL East, followed by AL Central, and all that stuff. So I think it'll be interesting for sure to see how Javier continues to go, like pitching wise. But I just had to pass here because I fucking hate the Royals, or I fucking hate Brad Keller, I should say, and he stinks.
I guess we can't say it was an impressive pitching performance because it was at Detroit.
Let's give him his due. Sure, they're major league hitters, right? You've got a decent lineup with, the Tigers have been hitting righties pretty decently, so we'll give him his due. He's not like a complete slapdick, but it's too inconsistent. It's just too inconsistent.
Shout out to Dave Burke in the house, celebrated his birthday yesterday. Old Berkey baby.
Happy birthday. And happy Venezuelan Independence Day.
I mean, the under is somewhat interesting first 5 because you can think that Javier will shut them down. And Keller looked really good in that last start, but how many starts has he looked good in?
You're gonna feel like a donkey if you bet the Astros first 5 under here, and then they go like 4-0 for the immediately off of Brad Keller. That's my biggest concern. I would hate taking like a 4 and then the Astros scoring 3, and then in the first inning you're like, oh, this is already over. You know?
Yeah, he hasn't allowed a run on the road in his last 2 starts, but they were against the A's and the Tigers.
And and he went back against the A's. I assume it was the first half of the back against the A's, I think, and then he got crushed in the second start against the A's too.
Yeah, man, I just all of a sudden I've been talked out of almost all my planned action, which is okay.
Isn't that a good thing? You're not supposed to listen to your gut, right?
Right. Definitely.
Your gut is smart though in all other sports though. And I value its opinion. And it's a great thing, Jimmy.
All right, let's move on. We got 2 games left here. San Francisco Giants 40-39, 19-19 on the road at the Arizona Diamondbacks 37-44, 21-22 at home. This is the second bet that I made on this card, and I like it. I'm on the first 5 under 4, the -105. Let's talk about the line history in this one first, and then we'll break down these 2 pitchers, Cobb and Merrill Kelly. From a money line perspective, there has been a 10-cent move towards the Arizona Diamondbacks. They opened up plus 120. They go to plus 110. From a total perspective, it opened at 8.5. It went to 9, and then right back to 8.5. It stayed at 8.5. We go over to the cash flow in this one. Do we have half line value on Merrill Kelly and the Diamondbacks? 32% of the tickets, 42% of the cash on them. And then 62% of the tickets, 96% of cash on the under. Cobb, there was great breakdowns on Cobb.
Wow. Breaking news. Hold on. We need to find it. There it is. This breaking news actually kind of hurts now that I'm thinking about it, but the Carolina Panthers have just acquired Quaker Mayfield for a conditional 5th-round pick, which is hilarious.
Wow.
Which is so funny, but that hurts my guy Sam Darnold. I fucking hate Baker Mayfield too because he made my college experience less fun. But yes, Baker Mayfield now a Carolina Panther, and Sam Darnold's going to beat his ass for that job. Go Jets.
Wow. For a conditional 5th-round pick.
Yeah, there's some other hockey news about Ilya Kaprizov and evade the Russian feds, but that's not as breaking news.
Wow. For a conditional 5th round. Armchair MMA says, I hate Baker and I'm a Panthers fan. Who's going to be
I agree with you. I growing up from Virginia, I obviously was not going to be a football team fan, so I chose the Jets because of Mark Sanchez. But I do have a soft spot for the Panthers. I also hate Baker Mayfield, so I also agree with you.
Wow. And everyone's saying now, what do the Browns do if Deshaun's suspended? Deshaun's going to be suspended.
Oh, yeah. The Browns, that is the worst decision a franchise has made in my lifetime. I have never seen a franchise make such a poor decision in the 24-ish years of me living.
It was shocking. It was just shocking. Yeah, it was shocking. And all that money, it was just absolutely shocking. Wow. Okay, let's drop this Cobb Kelly spot. I'm on the first 5 under 4. Cobb 3-3, 4.59 ERA, 1.37 WHIP. We talked about all of the advanced analytics around Cobb showed that he is being very unlucky. We were on the first 5 under. I wish we doubled up. That was one of the few nice moves I made on Friday. He went 5 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 3 Ks, 1 walk, and a 1-0 loss at home versus the White Sox. He's been terrible on the road, but I just think he's better than his numbers indicate. We know he's going to pitch better at San Francisco because it's pitcher's ballpark than he will on the road, but I believe in him. He's been terrible on the road, though, and it should be mentioned. 1-0, 6.41 ERA, 3.08 opponent's batting average. Merrill Kelly has not looked quite as strong of late, but I made the mistake of fading him for first time all year against Sensatella. First 5 last out, and it was a huge mistake. And he pitched well. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, just 1 earned, 1 homer, 3 Ks, 1 walk, and 9-3 win at Colorado. He's been very good this year. He's been very good at home. 2-4 win record, but it's not. That doesn't tell you as much. 3.40 ERA, 271 opponent's batting average, but not a ton of barrels. Giants versus righties, 238, 716 OPS. Diamondbacks versus righties, 217, 687 OPS. Both bullpens have struggled. I'm on the first 5 under 4 at minus 105. Did you move on this game? Jose, take it away. Giants, Diamondbacks.
I did not. No, I did not move on this game. Unfortunately, I did double up on the next game, and I'm sure everyone knows why I doubled up on it. But I had nothing on this game. I think one of the things, shockingly, I sometimes they can give me credit for being smart, because one of my mantras going into the season that has been correct has been fading the Giants pitchers that were there last year, took a big bump on their first year there, and then fading them on the second time or their second year. That has worked out well for me. Cobb, this is his first year there, so I could see, and he's pitched well. He had an IL stint, and coming back from that IL stint, he didn't go like as well or as good. But now the last 2 appearances, no one runs against the White Sox, no one runs against the Reds. So I don't hate the look at all. I really don't. The 14th are the Diamondbacks against righties, 103 weighted runs created plus, while the Giants are 22nd, 96. So I don't hate it at all. Obviously, would rather have a 4.5, but 4 is not bad either.
Yeah, I was hoping to get the hook, but I don't want to pay the juice associated. Like the Royals, Astros under 4.5 minus 125, and I've tried to tell myself to never bet a total of minus 125 again. The implied probability just won't work in the long run, and I'd rather just turn it into a 4 or plus money. That's my second bet that I made before the show, and I don't know if there's an addition here on this card. We will review everything. Let's talk about this last game.
How do I have 7 plays and you have like 2? I feel like I've been passing on every game, and I have 7 plays.
It's because of what happened to me on Friday. I'm still like, because it's a holiday. You're supposed to be enjoying yourself, and I'm in the corner beating myself up, drunk.
It's a holiday for some people, Jim. Just remember that.
Rockies Dodgers. 35 and 46 of the Rockies, just 12 and 25 on the road. Dodgers 51 and 29 and just 25 and 13 at home. We're at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, California. Let's break this down and then have Tease come in for a best bet in WNBA. Rockies, Dodgers, Chavez Ravine, 73 Fahrenheit, 7 miles per hour out to right center. Drops down to 4.9 miles per hour. Drops down to 4.9 miles per hour. Let's go with the line history here. And unfortunately, we've hit that magic number.
Oh, yeah.
So,
no, this is a double up for sure. This might hurt the record a little bit, but we're on it. I've got rules, and I'm a principled man. I got to follow them.
Dodgers open up at minus 330. They go up to 340. They've dropped to 320. They've dropped to minus 320. From a totals perspective, they open up at 9 minus 120. Now a 5-cent move towards the over. Fireside said, did the bookie touch Jimmy on Friday? No, because I'm in such great shape because of my NHL futures coming in. But I lost, and I lost badly, and it hurt. Okay, Jose Urena, is there a worse pitcher pitching? There's no worse pitcher pitching today. Is that fair to say that Jose Urena is the worst pitcher pitching today? Since he signed the minor league contract with the Rockies in mid-May. So the Brewers dropped him. He pitched 7 2/3 for the Brewers. He was in the Tigers 2021. We'll go over all that. In 2022 with the Brewers, 7 2/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, 3 of which were earned, 3 Ks, 5 walks, and 1 homer. Then he was cut. So then he signs with the Rockies. He's in AAA in the PCL league, which is a hitter's league, and he's abysmal. 7.29 ERA, 2.14 whip in 21 innings. Last year with the Tigers, he was terrible. 5.81 ERA, 1.60 whip, just 67 Ks in 102 thirds, 42 walks. Going up against Mitch White, who was supposed to start yesterday. So last out, Mitch White went 4 2/3, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 3 Ks, 1 walk at home versus the Padres. He seems to be pitching better. Rockies versus righties just 245, 689 OPS. Dodgers 255, 775 OPS. Rockies bullpen bad. Dodgers bullpen good. Final game on the card. Take it away, Jose. Rockies, Dodgers.
I do not believe any baseball team should be minus 300 against any other baseball team. I am taking the Rockies first 5 money line, and I'm taking the Rockies full game money line.
Jesus, doubling up?
Yes, because of Paul Blackburn and the Yankees, what happened last time, I'm doubling up. Yes. Like I
But
said,
you had Paul Blackburn on the mound.
I had Paul Blackburn on the mound, and I took them full game. I did not take them first 5. And as soon as that Oakland A's bullpen came in, they shit the bed. And I didn't even get credit for being half right about the game. So you're right about Urania being the worst pitcher in this slate. Him and Sampson are battling it out for it, and I think Urania, unfortunately, is going to get the dub there. He's not good. All those good things. I don't have to say really anything because it's minus 340 at some point. I think that's the highest number we've seen all year. It's dropped down, sure. But still, I mean, Mitch White, does he really deserve a minus 300, Jim? Let's be honest. Does he really deserve a minus 300? No, yeah. If this was Clayton Kershaw, maybe. If it was good old Julio, maybe. But I'm just going to say this. It wouldn't be the first time we saw the Dodgers lose at a minus 300 favorite at home against a shitty-ass team. Wouldn't be the first time.
You could get out of this if you want. Only minus 299 at Pinnacle.
Well,
get out of this.
You're right. I could get out of it, but I'm a man of honor. I'm a man of honor and privilege, and minus 320, minus 340 is high enough. I've got to take it, Jim. First 5 full game. If I was negative units, if I was down 15 units on the year, maybe I wouldn't be doing this. Maybe it would have hurt a lot more to do this. But luckily, I've given myself enough room to operate with my success this year. And with baseball, like our man Peter Loshak says, we come from the school of Peter Loshak. It's weighted coin flips in baseball. It's weighted coin flips. It's still a baseball game. Mitch White can still go out there and give up 4 runs. And will Urania hold the Dodgers to less than that? No, but if we can get at least an early lead, maybe we can start feeling better about ourselves. So we'll see here. I took the Rockies' first 5 full game purely, and I'll keep saying it's purely based on the fact that I believe, and in my 10 commandments of betting, one of the commandments is, thou shalt not have minus 300 favorites. Thou shalt fade minus 300 favorites at all cost.
Wow. Well, ballsy, man. Nobody ever said you got tiny balls on you.
That is not true. That is not true. That is a claim that gets told to me frequently, mainly because of how I eat, but it's okay.
All right. Rob Free saying that Brissett will most likely be the Browns starting quarterback. It's hard to go into the year with Keenum. All right, let's review all action. Let's review all. No problem.
Just getting phone calls everywhere today.
Sure. They just heard your bet on the Rockies.
I know. It's actually the people for calling about my car. I haven't had a car for the last week. Those cocksuckers. But
Jesus.
I'm making the Rockies money to pay for my car, so they know.
All right, let's review all action. Cubs, Brewers. We stayed off. 2:10 p.m. White Sox, Twins were going heads up against each other. I'm on the White Sox first 5. You're on the Twins first 5. And Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day is on the Twins. Jays, A's, we stayed off. Here's DX Filer's action. He's on the Brewers minus a half at minus 150 for 2 units. I like that look. I don't dislike that look at all. No, I do. My first thought is, well, I can't get them at that price. Let me just see what I can get them at. I think that I don't think Sampson's dangerous. I don't think I can get them at that price. Oh yeah, mine's minus 170, and then my minus 1 is minus 129. I think the Brewers take care of business, man. I really like what we've seen lately from Corbin Burns, and I don't think it slows down now that he's at home, and that we talked about the Cubs lineup, and I get why he's on it. I think that's a winning bet, and I've got 30 or less than that. How many? I got 25 minutes aside if I want to do that as well. He's on Toronto, Oakland over 8 and minus 115, and the Cardinals at plus 150. Say hey, play today. Number 1, Angels first 5 minus a half at minus 107. Can you believe Shohei Ohtani that cheap? Mets, Reds, we stayed off. Say hey, play today. Next one is Cardinals. Team total over 3.5. And I don't see why I don't move on the Cardinals at plus 145. I think I add that to my action. Jam Man, I got a birthday play today coming up here for you. Jose gave you the Pirates team total over 3. minus 119. I'd like to get involved with the Pirates, but I just need a little bit more time on that. Stimmy OG, play of the day's Orioles, Rangers over 9.5. Taint, play of the day's Baltimore Orioles, money line minus 110. And Nats first 5 plus half. I have question marks around. I need to know who's in the lineup. And I don't care if it changes, if I get 10 cents or 15 cents worse. I need to know. Rusty Kuntz, play of the day's Red Sox full game. Jose is doubling up Red Sox first 5 minus a half plus 109 and full game on the money line minus 122. I've got to look at this under in the Royals Astros game longer. Giants, Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm on the first 5 under 4 minus 105, and I like that spot. Then Jose has doubled up on the Rockies first 5 in full game. That is our MLB coverage, and we have our guy Tease joining us now for WNBA. We didn't know what game Tease was going to attack here, so we don't have a graphic set up for it, but let's bring him on to the show from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Please welcome Tease in the house. Tease, how are you, my man?
I'm good. How you fellas doing today?
We are doing well. I know that you are desperately seeking a casher for us. I know how much this means to you. You're still in the black. You're 6-5 on the show, still in the black. Nothing to worry about. It is time to heat up.
Yeah, and I did text you a game late, and I apologize about that.
That's okay.
And to be honest with you, I'm going to switch it up on you again, Jimmy.
Sure.
I'm going with the Atlanta Washington game today in
Atlanta, Washington. Let's move over there right now and set.
I got my pen and paper out, Tease. I'm ready to go. I've got my notes. I'm ready.
All right, I'm giving you a winner right here. So.
Oh, hey, that's what the pen and paper out. I wouldn't be writing it down if it wasn't a winner.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go. So we are talking about the dream here at home to the Mystics. Let's move over to the line history. But first, the Dream on a 2-game winning streak and second straight game at home. The Mystics are on the road. We last saw them 3 days ago in a overtime loss to the Connecticut Sun. That stopped their 2-game winning streak. Let's move over to the line history here in this spot. And we have no movement. The Dream opened up as 5.5-point dogs. They've stayed there. And from a total perspective, they open up at 156.5. It drops to 156, but it's gone up since now 157.5. It was a very tough loss yesterday, lost by a half point. And I know that the market had moved. So you bet it at 78.5. It ends at 79. You gave out 79.5 on the show. It sucks that's how we track picks is what's available right now. But you handled it like a gentleman because I know you did cash, even though the 79.5 didn't, and that bothered you enormously because you care about these guys so much. So how are we getting paid here in this one? There's been very little line movement on the side, a tiny bit on the total. Take it away here, Mystics at Dream.
Yeah, first, I want to apologize, Jimmy. I didn't mean to switch the games on you, bro.
Oh, no, don't worry, man. It's all good. It's all good. Let's go.
The Vegas New York game just it's not a good game to get into just because they're both limping into the All-Star break. So I want to give guys something exciting to go after here. And this is probably my favorite game of the day. This line hasn't moved, and it hasn't moved for a reason. And anybody that watches the WNBA is probably thinking, yeah, the Mystics all day long. The Mystics all day long. Be careful of that. There's a reason this line hasn't moved, and there's a reason it's short. My favorite play of the day on this is going to be the first half total over. And I got that at 79. And, this game, this is a game that, Elena Del Don's out. She's on her, she doesn't do the road games often unless it's a big road game. So we're going to see the offense and, the Dream are going to want to put up points because they just got destroyed in Washington last week, and they have revenge on their mind, and I like this game in a lot of different ways, but the best bet that I can give today right now is the first half over 79.
Over 79. We can offer you 78.5 if you want at minus 116. The 79 we can give you at minus 108. I'm going to see if we can beat that anywhere, but which would you prefer?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, mate. It's going over.
All right, then we'll give you that 79 with the least amount of juice. Let's see what it is here. And it's 79.5 over circa. Okay, so we'll give you the 79 Dream Mystics first half over 79 and minus 108. There we go, locked in. Revenga, says Billy. I love it. Dream Mystics first half over 79 minus 108. You have a special guest on the show tonight?
Yeah, I've got Ski Profit coming in to break down the card with me today. I love breaking the card down. Ski and I think a lot alike in the breaking these games down, and he's a great guy to work with, so I'm happy to have him with me.
That's sweet. Yeah, he's a great capper, a great gambler. Mally Mal, Atlanta first half and first quarter says fade Washington. I like it. For Tease, he's on Dream Mystics first half over 79 and minus 108 as his official pick here on the show. 2 games available for action tonight, and Ski Profit going to be on the show. That's at 4 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Eastern here on Pub Sports Radio. And follow our man Tease on Twitter at Parlay Tease. He's always giving out action, and he's had a spectacular year in WNBA. Don't get caught up in a small bump on the road here with 3 straight L's. He's still in the black here on the show and will be even healthier in the black after this Dream Mystics first half over 79 at minus 108 cashes. JPZ sees a 78 and minus 110. That's a nice number. Let's give him that. 78.
Mally, that's a great look, man. I would have given that out, but I don't think a lot of people can give first quarters. That's why I didn't want to give that out. But I'm on that. I'm on that first quarter.
I like it. Tease, my man, any last words for the capper supporting the show?
Yeah, let's cash today, man. I need to get out of my Jimmy the Bag jinx this week and last week. I got to get back to cashing everybody tickets. So, positive thoughts, and let's make some money today.
Let's make some money. Thank you so much for joining us, Tease. Over 78.5 minus 110 first half in Dream Mystics, and you can catch Tease alongside our guy Ski Profit today on We Got Next at 4 p.m. Eastern. And that is our show for today. I thought Jose did a spectacular job capping the MLB card. I enjoyed that very, very much. And let's just do a quick review. And what the fuck am I going to do here? We have Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today on the Twins. We have the Taint play today on the Orioles. Jose and I are going head-to-head in the first 5, White Sox, Twins. Ken, you're the man next Thursday, a week tomorrow, all day Saratoga opening day. Then say hey play of the day. Jose's got the Angels first 5 minus half minus 107. Why is the line so low? Look, I completely get it. It just makes me nervous. The line's so low. We stayed off Mets Reds. Jose's on the Cardinals team total over 3.5. I had a couple cappers kind of talk me off the Cardinals first 5, but I just feel like the implied probability is there. For Jam Man, the birthday pick I will give you would be the Diamondbacks Giants first 5 under 4. First 5 under 4. Mike M with a pimp slap play today. Brewers Mets parlay. Jose says, let's go Rockies. Jose needs his car back. Nice.
I do. I just got off that's why I was gone. I got off the phone with the fuckers that just called me. And I'm not getting my car back till the 21st, and I'm about to fucking throw a fit. Yeah.
Why would it be 15 days?
Because it takes 15 days for a part to get in there, apparently. And I said, all right, so you guys giving me a rental too? No, it only covers like 4 or 5 days. So I am going to call them back after the show, and I'm going to show off the other side of me. Most of you guys see this part of me. This is what I call my white side here. The Venezuelan will come out of me, and the voice will increase in loudness, and my anger will increase as well. So,
well, I shouldn't be laughing. That sucks.
You should laugh because whenever this happens, I sound like my mom. I get louder and I start speaking much quicker, just in English, not in Spanish.
Oh man, I just wish I could have a cachapas waiting for me right now. After the show, God, I can just that. What is that? The cornbread pancake or whatever it is. What's that? What is that?
What do you mean? It's just a little corn pancake. It's just it's just exactly what it is. I don't know.
So delicious. They also had 3 different sauces and a hot sauce, an oil hot sauce, and then 3 different sauces that joined. It was just fucking magic, man.
It is, and I'll say this: I'm a super picky eater. That's one of the only corn products I eat.
And that is not an arepa, right? We did order an arepa, and it was delicious. Not as good as the cachapas.
Yeah, so your pronunciation would make me want to kill myself, but it's all right. You're doing a great job. I love it. You're doing a great job. Hey, I'm here with a smile on my face as I sit here without a car for the next 2 weeks. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it didn't taste like a ton of cheese, Mike. It tasted like the perfect amount of cheese. What it tasted like. That's what it tasted like. So I only have 2 bets on this card, and I'm questioning what to add. And I'll you want to do? I'm gonna eat a sandwich, have a drink. But this Brewers game starts in 12 minutes. And I do not trust Adrian Sampson whatsoever. Let's just look at these lineups here quickly. I mean, because it is is the Brewers lineup got any reason to make me uncomfortable here? Yelich, Adames, Tellez, Urias, Wong, Hira, Narvaez, Peterson, and Davis. Going up against Ortega, Horner, Happ, Wisdom, Velasquez, Rivas, Higgins, Morrill, Simmons. Doesn't it just feel like the Cubs are just giving this one?
Now, I will admit, yesterday, this kind of feels like the same situation because everyone was on Marlins first 5 yesterday in some form or fashion. You were on it, I believe. And I said on the show, like, this is going to win. Like, I'm confident Marlins first 5 is going to win, but I'm not going to bet it. Like, I'm just not going to bet it. I don't know. Like, I didn't like say specifically why, like, I didn't want to bet it. Just a feeling, didn't want to bet it. It ends up winning, no problem. Do I kick myself after it? I didn't bet it. Sure. But at least I didn't have to, sweat that out and then worry all that shit. But I mean, if you make the bet, Jim, I definitely wouldn't hate it at all. It's just, Corbin Burns and his sliders leaking over the plate just worry me. That would be my concern. But it's the Cubs.
I'm going to move on. I got 11 minutes to do it. I just, it just feels like they're just handing this on a silver platter. Okay. And then I'll have to make some decisions because everybody sort of talked me off the other looks, and that's fine because I got afternoon action and I got late night action. Rob Free says take the Brew first 5 -5. I can't. It's just too expensive. I have to take a -1. I can't.
What'd you get -1?
-129.
That's still expensive, so.
It's really expensive. It's expensive enough for me not to do it. But as you take out Contreras from that lineup, all of a sudden you're like, who do they have? I know that Suzuki's been hot. You take that stick out too?
By the way, I'm gonna put public pressure on Sun Dizzle. If Sun Dizzle's free on Monday, the 11th, I would think a little threesome Jimmy the Bag, Sun Dizzle, Jose Bouquet on Say Hey Plays would be interesting. The first time ever 3 people on Say Hey Plays. So I'm just gonna say that now. Sun Dizzle, if you're free on 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central on Monday, it'd be interesting.
I'm down with that.
I know. I would say I just want to see you and Sun Dizzle talk. That's why I'd be here. I just introduce the game, and then Sun Dizzle would say something, and then we'll just let it ride. Roll the tape.
I like it. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Berkey Baby in the house.
Shout out, Berkey.
Billy Friedrich, Sun Dizzle. I want to get Berkey on the show as well. I get Berkey. Berkey and I, we did a show here together. When was that? Right before the pandemic hit. Was
he one of the people that you had to call to remember your jokes for before public?
No, there was no way I was going to remember anything after drinking all day at the horse track.
No, absolutely not. No. So, we can say this now that it is a couple months removed. I found it very funny that you were doing all the jokes from this show, and I was like, I've seen all these before. And then I bet you everyone that watches the show that was there is also like, I've seen these before too. So it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why don't we do it's redemption again on the Texas tour this whatever fall, whatever. I don't know.
I would have to really study that. I'd have to go over all my old shit. It's not like riding a bike.
No, it is not. No.
So no, I don't. I think I'm gonna pass.
What about duo? A little you and Son Dizzle on the.
Well, Son Dizzle, Dave Burke. I mean, these are headlining comedians that we have in our chat right now. I'm no longer that.
Shout out to the guy. I forgot his name too. The original comedic too that was there.
Jason Rouse.
Yes, yeah, very lovely man and a great car ride to San Antonio.
Billy Friedrich, Billy Friedrich was hilarious today. Lee Davis Teese says, "Tell them to give you a loaner. Force them to give you a loaner."
That's what I'm saying, Teese. I got to. I'm fucking. I'm gonna be honest. I forgot about it for a half second there, and I just got angry. I just got angry again. And by the way, I do love David Burke was not there at Bubba Palooza, but does know what the first joke was. It does know what your go-to in the holster is.
Did I do Turkey or Terrorist?
Oh, yeah. Come on. That's the opener every time. Come on. Maybe it is not as funny without the graphics. Maybe it's not. But we had a lot of willing participants in the crowd. Well, I love how you don't remember your first bit. Come on. It was our lovely, and here it is, because of course I've got these lying around. Turkey or Terrace, everyone's favorite joke. Come on. It's always turkey, you racist bastards.
Okay, let's go, man. Let's go.
An unlikely 3-hour show today.
Oh, Billy Friedrich says, "Tell them my car is my livelihood."
Yeah, I do my show out of my car, guys.
Don't mention show. Don't mention show. It's never gonna help you.
Wait, what? Are you telling me that if I tell them I do a show every day, 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central, Monday to Friday, and on the weekends, 10:30 Central, if I tell them that I'm Say Hey Jose, they won't service me better?
7 days a week, Jose. Man. Unbelievable.
I find that hard to believe.
Okay, we gotta go. I gotta get this bed in. That's 6 minutes. I gotta go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let's get this cash. We have Hunter Engelhart on the show. Prize Picks, or Hunter Engelhart on the show tomorrow. Prize Picks is up in an hour and 6 minutes. You have MLB Prize Picks with Sharpie, and then 4 p.m. Tease and Ski Profit, and we got next WNBA, and then 5:30 Jose Bouquet with special guest
Seamus. Ignoramus.
Yes. Nice.
That'll be fun. Ignoramus. We're gonna talk. I forgot. I almost forgot now that I'm mentioning it too. This will be the first time Seamus will be joining us after he almost allegedly, I don't know what exactly happened. We'll figure out today. Has to get into a fight with other Little League parents. So I'm looking forward to that. Jim, you should listen too, because this will be the precursor for you. Seamus has to deal with baseball parents. You're going to have to deal with hockey parents with thick thighs Carter.
Carter's going to be the fastest player in whatever city I'm living in. I'll tell you that much. He's going to fly on the ice. I know that. I got to get this bet in.
We'll get it in while I tell you this. You're definitely not the fastest skater on the show. We know that for factual statements.
Anytime you want it.
Maybe I wanted it in fucking Texas, and you were just extremely polluted. Make your bets.
I can still handle you drunk, man. Drinking
no,
is
you could not. I would love to see you standing like Bambi on the ice. As we finish up this show, Jimmy, thanks for hosting the show. You did a fantastic job as always. You're color coordinated today. The red and white. It looks beautiful. Thank you. And speaking of beautiful, you know what else is beautiful, Jim? That shirt you're wearing. You can find on the Pub Sports Radio shop. If you go to pubsportsradio.com, it's a lovely website. Go get it today. That is a real bet. Like we said, that is a real bet. Jeff, myself, Preston, all putting in on one ticket for Liverpool. Shout out to us. Is in a video too. It's a great time. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Jimmy is going to make this bet right now. He is taking Brewers first 5 -1 at -130-ish, right?
-129.
minus 129. So he'll tweet that out here in a second. Sun Dizzle, I appreciate you. We'll see you Monday. And like I said, a little spoiler alert there. Monday, Monday, Jimmy the Bag coming on Say Hey Plays, Monday the 11th. And another spoiler alert here too. Say Hey Plays 100 is on July 15th. July 15th. So there's another little precursor there. It's going to be a fun couple of weeks. We've got Say Hey 100. We've got the Walking Dead going every day too. So he's going to hit 100 shows as well that day as well. So shout out to my guy Sharpie who does this every day. We've got all of the programs coming up. It's going to be a great time. WNBA with Tease, and it is going to be great. Maybe a little morning sesh too, a little daily sesh if you like the connoisseurs, the true connoisseurs, as Dutch and Cab go live every Monday through Friday. It's going to be a great time. And you know what today, Jim? Today I'm going to try not to fuck up the outro. And I'm actually going to play Tease's hot bars that he's given us.
Is it Tease? You mean Jay Peasy?
Jay Peasy's hot bars that he's given us. Sorry,
Sweet.
I'm still angry. I'm just angry, The anger is bubbling up in those cocksucker motherfuckers. They've had my car for 2 weeks already, Jim. I've already had it for 2 weeks.
Do you know the mechanic? I mean, that's key. Do you know your mechanic? Like, are you friends with your mechanic?
Jimmy, I live my life on one of your famous rules.
What's
No
that?
new friends. No new friends. No new friends in any situation ever. I don't talk to strangers.
No, I respect that. Is your mechanic Venezuelan?
Of course not.
Oh, you're making terrible mistakes. These are terrible blunders.
Well, unfortunately for me, Venezuelan people do not just pop out of rocks from here. Though Hispanics, we might look the same, we are not the same.
You tell me there's no Venezuelan mechanics in San Antonio.
Aside from my father, maybe not.
Did you ask your father if he knows any mechanics? Or did you just
No, hey, I'm sorry. I'm using up this extended warranty that the Nissan has given me, and they spit right in my mouth, Jim. They spit right in my mouth like they always do, those bastards.
Might not be spit.
Might not be. Fucking might not be. It's blindfold, close your eyes, open wide kind of deal with these fuckers. So we'll find out what happens. You know what the best part about having Hispanic and Venezuelan parents is? I'm, in my room right now because, again, no car. So I'm doing the show in my room. I can yell about all these things, all these random cock and balls, and they don't,
I'm sure they know what, but maybe you're right. But I'd be surprised if you yelled cock and balls and they would have no idea what you speak of.
They just like, he's doing his show, whatever. What is that? I don't know. I told them, by the way, that I spoke Spanish on a show yesterday. They could not give less of a fuck.
I was worried that would happen.
They did not care at all. It only hurt my feelings a little bit. It's all right though. I'm learning from you. I'm learning from you. Remember, your dad likes you or likes me more than you, and I think that same situation is going to be happening on the other side as well.
Yeah, it's. I was worried that they were not going to care at all.
Not one fuck given by anyone in my family, actually. The main thing actually was, why does your mic suck? So I was like, okay, well, thanks, guys. Hats off to all you guys. But that's not the point of the show, Jim. The point of the show is to get winners and do all the fun stuff we do on this show.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
I didn't know this turned into a therapy session this last 8 minutes.
I'm happy that we're here to help. Now, as you move forward, I know that no new friends is a real legitimate thing and it'll make your life better, but you need to find a mechanic that's your friend or that's Venezuelan is not going to fuck you.
Well, I will admit, if he was Venezuelan, that would tend to lead me to think he would fuck me more. Like the fucking would increase. And that's not just because Venezuelan men are in top 10, top 5%, or top 5 overall, I should say, in dick size. That's not us. That's just random fun facts that I've got in the back of my head. But I believe in my homies that they'll give me my car after I give them a very angry, spirited call here soon.
Go get him. Go fucking get him, Jose.
Thank you.
Fucking get him, man.
Might as well.
And record it. If you could record parts of it, we would love that as well.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. They'll be like, we just started working on it, and your insurance and rentals only covers 5 days. So, sorry. No, I'll be like, okay, well, go fuck myself, I guess, huh?
Can you at least get it for 5 days though?
Oh yeah, I can get it for 5 days,
Yeah,
and then
but-
fucking
Yeah.
it'll be stupid. I'll fucking keep it over the days. They'll overcharge me. I'll try not to throw up in it like the last fucking rental I got. Shout out to that. But yeah,
it's a great day.
you know, and here's another thing. You know, I'm sorry for all these random diversions. I'm keeping you from your family. Tease is back here watching us. He's just chilling. Shout out to Tease and all the people. I started playing hockey video games more often, and I got a Trevor Linden jersey, and I was like, oh, this is Jimmy. This is Jimmy. I know who Trevor Linden is. I've seen this. I don't know what he does or who he is, but I know him. And I just want to let you know that I'm going to be an excellent hockey capper in the next coming weeks because of my knowledge of the NHL that is growing ever so slowly.
You know, whenever my friend's a musician, his sons aren't into sports, and I came down we were at a party. I came downstairs. They were playing hockey, Xbox hockey. I was so happy. I was like, "Oh, good. Maybe you guys can, man up here." And then I looked closer, and they were both teams were in white jerseys, so you couldn't tell. They were just fucking.
That happens. That happens. I have a friend that's colorblind and complains frequently. It's like, yeah, the teams look exactly the same to me. So
very difficult.
It's very funny. And also, for the longest time, I grew up with this friend. He's my version of Son Dizzle. Shout out to Matthew. I did not believe he was colorblind for the longest time. I thought he was fucking with me forever. And then, I figured out eventually. I guess maybe he's not lying after 10 years of saying he's
that
colorblind.
joke would get funnier as it went on, though.
It's hilarious. I mean, for the laughs, it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. And I do ask. It's kind of like Stevie Wonder being fake blind. How do you dress yourself? I don't know. Those are my questions.
This is a good question. Yeah. I need you to tape your call, just the audio, if you can.
We'll see.
So
We'll see how that goes.
it'd be nice to play a couple clips tomorrow on the show. Just a couple clips.
I'm gonna give them because I literally just got off the phone with them and I just took the disappointment like a bitch. I didn't say anything. I was like, okay, thanks, and I hung up the phone. So I'm gonna give it like 2 hours or so, and then build up the anger again, and then let them know, like, guys, it's been a month without my car. I get 5 days of rental, and then we'll see how it goes.
If you show up at their workplace in a ski mask, it's also nice touch. A little bit of fear sets in. Yeah,
I think you're onto something. And of course, this is Texas, so everyone's packing. I mean, you assume that. I understand maybe my darker complexion would make it maybe a little more obvious that I'm not carrying a gun, but you never know. You never know in Texas.
You never know. I would like part of it recorded. Spectacular job breaking down the card today. I really enjoyed that with you. Your first batter is on first base in Twinkies White Sox. Lance Lynn's not scared, though. Lance Lynn's not scared. I look forward to going toe-to-toe with you on this bet. I think I'm going to get all the money.
Don't like fat people betting on them. That's one of my rules. Don't bet on the chubbies.
It makes sense.
You know who likes the chubbies, though?
Oh, I can't get my mouth around that thing.
Oh, and we have part 2 coming tomorrow of that.
Yes, exciting. I cannot wait for that.
Okay, we got to put a bow on this. Can I get the Carter here for Carter's up from his nap?
Dog in here. I want Carter's reactions to the Venezuelan.
Can you bring Carter up here for a sec? He doesn't want to come.
It starts early
after naps.
It starts early. Jim, get used to it. From here on out, Carter's just gonna be like, "Fuck you."
No,
I'll tell you right now, from age 10 to 23, 24, it is definitely I hate my parents more and more every year. So
thank you. That's beautifully put. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let's get first. Oh, hey, buddy, come over here. Yeah. He's got a hat. Seattle Pilots, though.
I wish it was. Shout out to the Seattle Pirates. I read a good book on the Seattle Pirates.
Let's come here.
This show is completely going off the rails. I love it. Shout out to the 106 people still watching. We appreciate you guys. You guys are the real Pub Sports Radio diehards, just watching me and Jimmy talk about random things, watching the Sea Dog and his thick ass thighs up here. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. He pulled out a Seattle Pilots hat, so it's not going to help us. You want to say
shout out to Jim Buchanan, whatever his name is.
See you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Can you let us out of here?
Okay, again, let's try not to fuck this up because I fucked it up last time. Remember, guys, Leche y los bookmakers. Reset.
Get 'em, Jimmy, where low shack at. The bottle's getting empty up the crack and we stacking chips. All of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated public sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call it truth. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we